Well, we're now live.
Well, I don't care.
Well, you should.
No. In fact, I care so little. I'm gonna say the N word.
No, you're not.
Nintendo!
What do you think I was going to say?
What, something offensive? I'm being a brand plugging capitalist icon. Being controversial is the last thing I want to do. However, baiting clicks.
I'm still getting a blank screen.
On the screen because he hasn't fucking started.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oops.
I'll get to it in a second.
1.
2.
Oh. Ace Pilot, my ass.
It's the fucking Ace Pilot.
And maybe you should start shooting shit. Instead of leaving me to do all the fucking work.
No. Personally, I prefer to fuck the fox. Hey, Fox. Fuck you.
Not now, Falcon.
Wait. Thought you went to Crystal. Wait. Thought I was flirting with you?
Okay, so continuing with the backlog streams, this shitty ass game.
I can't believe you said that.
You know it's true, Harain.
Man, I've heard from a lot of Star Fox fans. This one's not as good, and they would never lie or be wrong about anything.
Never.
Why is YouTube notifying me about my own stream?
Because you didn't know. Now you do.
Because maybe you had dementia.
The dementia dimension.
But yeah, like, I'm told by Harain that this game is actually really good, but he's often wrong, so...
Yeah. Speaking of things I'm wrong about, you should go to the options first before you play the game.
Options.
Yeah, you're going to want to create a user profile.
I still want to know what the thought process of this one was.
It's very Resident Evil. And not the default control scheme at that.
I mean, that's fair enough. I can't be angry at them trying to do some weird experimental control scheme, as long as it's not the default, and assuming the game's not built around it. I mean,
it's not.
If it was built around it, then, okay, assuming it actually worked well. But...
It's built, if anything, it's built around single stick, with dual stick being a built-in option. And dual stick really just gives you mostly more control than single stick. So...
But, man, I'm kind of confused, because I was under the impression this game only had one control scheme.
Fucking crazy.
And yet, I'm looking at 3, and yet I'm the middle one here. It looks like exactly what the people complaining about want.
It's crazy.
That's as it is now, it's automatically converted for like.
Yes.
Okay.
That the pilot is for aiming, and same with Landmaster.
So I think.
So basically, if you want,
turn off.
yeah, if you want flight controls inverted, that's the R wing.
Yeah.
I usually turn off inversion for the Landmaster and the R and pilot because it's, you know, that's aim controls, not flight controls.
Hey, Ragnarok, doing all right. Yeah. So, Star Fox is a series that I know quite a bit about, but I have limited experience with. I didn't grow up with any of the games, and I was only really aware about it through Smash. But look, watching internet shit a lot, kind of hard to avoid all the hype around 64. So eventually I did just get that game. And I rather liked it. And then Star Fox Zero was announced, and it's like, ooh, that looks cool. I want it. So I got it, and it was also pretty good. Which discourse on that game some. But I have seen plenty of videos on the other games, including this one. But hadn't really had much of a desire to play like any of the other ones. For this game in particular, mostly because of Trade and IKG and some other people really liking the game, and hearing their perspectives on it, it's like, game does kind of sound a lot better than what some other people have lit on. So yeah, became more interested in trying this. Never got around to it, so I'll do it as a backlog stream. I have technically played a bit of it in multiplayer with Rain, but that, as far as single player, haven't. So
Get ready to get your ass handed to you.
I'll be fine.
Well, the game's not that hard. Biggest thing for you, again, I talked to you about this before, but if you want a healthy difficulty curve that will challenge you to play silver, but if you want to play like the first difficulty mode, technically that's bronze. It's up to you.
I'm gonna start on bronze.
Okay. Bronze also has less objectives than silver does, and silver has less objectives than gold.
Yeah, I'll probably on my own time try out silver and then gold, but just for stream, just to play through the game.
Yeah, the game's definitely not going to be hard on bronze. It's very much a welcome to Star Fox Assault.
It has been a while since I've played. Since I played either 64 Zero. Oh, also, is the audio fine?
When I checked when I first started the stream, it seemed good.
I do not like Andrew's voice.
I like Andrew's voice.
Stinking ape. We underestimated the strength of his reserves.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! What did you call him?
The
Whoa, 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 whoa! We don't say that here. So, famously, it's a Peppy in Star Fox 64 has the same voice as Soldier from TF2. May rest in peace. But a lesser known fact that I think people would know, it would be cool for people to know about, is that it's not the only Star Fox crossover with TF2. Specifically, Wolf in this game has the same voice actor as the engineer.
Yep, of course, General.
huh.
It's just so crazy. I can't believe Andros had so darn.
God, what did they do to you, General Pepper?
He got old.
He's hideous.
He's fucking old.
He's ugly.
Honestly, I kind of like that he looks like bloodhounds,
Because we gotta put this creep on ice.
where they have like that really saggy appearance.
I'm counting on you. Now get prepped and go.
Pupils are barely visible.
Let's go, team.
Yeah.
Also, unsure if this will be a 1 or 2 stream game. Okay, we'll find
Probably
out.
not. Probably not one.
Yeah, and I don't think it'd be 3, so.
Not likely. Keep in mind the game has 10 missions.
I guess, 5 would be it.
Yeah, you should see where you are on mission 5, and the missions do somewhat get longer as they go, but
So be careful out there.
still, it's 10 missions.
Anyways, people are saying, Peppy and, Soldier, meanwhile, me, Dr. M.
Yeah.
Launch all ships.
Yeah, I definitely didn't see people talking about that super often with the Rick May discourse, but
Some people mentioned it. It's the only reason I knew that they were the same actor.
Rick May was a very big influence in terms of video games culture.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Sly Cooper's not quite as big as those. And even then, the villain of the third game, yeah.
Aim for Oikon's flagship.
Here we go.
The,
There's too many of them.
it's weird to talk about what Rick May's most prolific performance was. Because on the one hand, Soldier has so much of an effect on internet culture. But if you wanted to boil down Peppy to one line, and the fact that Rick May said that, that's a big reach with do a barrel roll.
Andros's fleet is headed.
You know?
Yeah.
There is not a single line Soldier TF2 has ever said that has had the reach of do a barrel roll. And that's not for a lack of Soldier being a big deal. Just, do a barrel roll is a fucking massive culture icon to the point where it's outside of gaming culture,
Yeah.
Why do these ships explode when you shoot the middle?
That's the weak
It's
point.
it's the weak point.
Who designed these ships?
You did, obviously.
Wait a minute. Why am I rich then?
Because they're shit.
Why would they pay you for... Huh.
Well, where the fuck did they get them then if they...
I don't know, Ben, why'd you design them like that?
Look, I just want my money.
No. They said that they would pay you the rest when they won the battle. And they're fucking losing.
It's the skill issue.
Not the big glowing weak spot.
Don't blame the equipment.
No Jones.
Ugh.
Yo, but the scale of this opening is so cool.
I feel like it's Star Wars.
Head ahead. I'm coming this way.
Star Fox has always been inspired by Star Wars.
Watch your bodies, Fox.
I need to actually play, the first 2 Rogue Squadron games. I have the third one. It's, not very good. And, the first 2 games, both of them emulate poorly.
Ooh.
I can let you borrow the first two because I have.
Eh.
Is it like specific emulators or plugins emulate poorly, or?
I don't know. I think the first game being an N64 game, just in general, bad emulation. I think I tried it. I don't know. I forget if I tried it with Project 64, but with BizTalk at the very least, I couldn't load into the first level.
Yeah, there's also, again, different graphics backends for N64, and that can matter a lot.
Yeah, and the second one on was on GameCube. It was playable, but it had issues. There's sort of like a scanner mode you could turn on that was very glitched up.
You have a modded Wii, right?
Keep moving.
No.
Follow him into the atmosphere.
No, I thought you did.
Adjust
Okay.
the diffuser system output. Let's go.
I was gonna say you could, with a modded Wii, you could easily play it on that as a worst case scenario, but
Like, and he seems to have
so you mod your Wii.
I want all of you to proceed with caution.
You know, it's funny how the third Rogue Squadron game is kind of similar to Assault, in which, like, see, essentially the third of the... Okay, technically, with, you know, Assault being the third of this style of Star Fox game that was released.
Yeah.
Not counting 2.
Especially considering 2 was canceled.
Not counting 2 and not counting Adventures.
Adventures,
It's
yeah.
the third of its type, but it also added, like, on-foot missions, which is what Rogue Squadron 3 did. However, the ones in Rogue Squadron 3 are kind of ass. Which I know people say about this game, but from what I've seen and brief bit of playing the multiplayer, it's way better than Rebel Strike.
I also, it's such a shame there's only 3 on Rails levels in this game because they do such a good job with the gameplay, the set pieces, the scope. I can't believe you let Falco get shot.
Oh, damn, that's it.
Yeah. Fucking let Falco die. God, what a bitch.
Fucking ace pilot my ass.
He was in danger and you wouldn't help him.
He should get good.
You should care about
I
your
still
teammate.
find it funny that, like, you know, Slippy's the tutorial for trying to save your ally. But then they do it with Falco a little later, and he's just like, oh yeah, if you fuck up, he's gone.
Yeah.
like, really? Ace, like...
For the sake of my sanity, again, I like to think of it that Falco, because he's cocky, gets himself into more shit than he should.
Yeah, I guess. Also, don't expect, like, good scores.
No, that's okay. Also, Bronze is not that picky with score for the medals.
I probably should replay 64 just to get, like, a feel of the differences.
Yeah. One thing you would probably notice immediately, of course, is that this game has one roll button. And you roll before leaning, rather than lean then roll.
Why did Andrew have to,
Something to note about R-Wings, and vehicles in general in this game, is that they feel bigger than 64.
Yeah.
They also are literally bigger, but another thing is that the R-Wing is just a bit floatier than 64. Not in a way that feels bad. It's I think it feels great. It's just 64 is snappier than this game, you know?
Ignorant ape. What are you up to?
Careful,
was this guy piloting, was this guy the only crew member on his entire ship?
It's unclear. He was talking to somebody at the start of the level, but it's unclear if that he was on the ship with Oikani or not, and he doesn't speak in this portion.
Shield analysis complete. Bringing it up on the monitor.
Who's this Andros wannabe?
Ow.
Oh, I do not like that position he was making.
Are you
Are you okay,
okay, Fox?
Fox? No, Slippy!
He punched me.
Something to note about Star Fox. You move faster when you lean into your movement rather than just moving. I believe that could be a problem for Assault, given you roll before you lean, but I think Assault still gives you the speed boost when you're rolling, not just leaning.
Okay.
Reinforcements?
So I think that rolling in your movement still makes you move faster out of the way. Because it still counts as leaning, I think.
It can't be.
Abaroid.
I will say I have less experience with Assault's
Return fire.
on-rails missions compared to 64 and 0, but that's because there's only 3 of them. You know?
Yeah.
So, you know. God, I love this game, man. My biggest problem with it is wanting more of this shit. You know what I mean? God damn it.
It's too early to celebrate. Look, keep your wits about you, everyone.
Yo, gotta get out of the way.
I always like this attack phase because you can shoot his open mouth during it, but it is a lot harder to dodge when you're doing that. Because, you know, aim...
There's just something.
It's part of... It's one of those reasons that I think that...
You're damaging him.
Like, I love Zero's control scheme, but it's one of the examples of how it's not a direct upgrade, if you know what I mean.
Hmm.
Because that's something that wouldn't be that challenging in Zero, because you could just stay out of the way and aim at the mouth and you're fine. You know what I mean? Whereas because you have to move where you're aiming, you have to take more of a risk of getting hit.
What a strange creature.
It's a nice risk-reward structure.
I don't believe it. Fox, you have to get that.
Really? Well, okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Whoa, we got company.
Also, holy shit, I love Brooklyn Falco.
Fox, grab that thing and get out of there.
Just because you're from New York.
Hey, Jersey.
Just coming out of your cut, Falco.
Still got the bronze medal by quite a bit.
All ships are home.
What happened? You feeling a bit rusty or what?
I'm guessing bronze is the highest you can get on bronze.
Yes, no, you cannot get a silver medal on bronze or a gold medal on bronze or a gold medal on silver. You also can't get the lower medals on the higher difficulties.
Hmm.
They also give you a score multiplier for those difficulties, like 2 and 3 times, I believe, respectively, for silver and gold.
Hmm.
So they track your top score on like mission select and shit. So you will always get a much higher score if you're playing on harder difficulties, simply because you get a big multiplier for choosing a harder difficulty.
How do you know?
We know.
Okay.
The research director will brief you on all the details.
Hello again, everybody.
Dad?
Dad?
Research director? You never told me that.
Well, gee, didn't I? Yes.
No!
In case, if I may continue,
You never
these
tell me
asteroids-
anything, Dad.
Aperoids?
Indeed.
This is why I talk to Grippy more than you.
I believe it was about 17 years ago. A whole fleet was destroyed by a sole aperoid. Oh, we were somehow able to survive that trial, but that was just a taste of what's coming. But we are currently analyzing data from the core memory you found. But we could
Oh, it's just a
understand more
taste.
if we had a complete specimen.
We have detected a distress signal originating from the Kaina outpost. However,
the-
we're unable to
The orchestration.
We
Ugh.
suspect aperoid involvement. You must find the distress signal.
No problem at all, sir. I'll head to the surface immediately. That signal shouldn't be too hard to find.
By yourself? It's too dangerous. I'm going too.
No, I want you guys in our wings, covering me from above. I'm counting on you. Let's do this!
I know I've raved about this probably more than necessary, but because we're on stream, just gonna do it again. If people are not aware, Star Fox Assault is the first video game Nintendo has fully orchestrated for its soundtrack. You could say it's not technically fully because the multiplayer music isn't orchestrated along with like 1 or 2 jingles. But that's it. Like, pretty much everything in the soundtrack, in the story mode, is orchestrated, and it's fucking incredible. And this is before Mario Galaxy, this is before Skyward Sword, like, this was the first time they ever did it, and it's amazing. Oh my god, I love this game's soundtrack.
Something's wrong here. It's a trap.
It's a trap!
It's the Aperoids after all.
How'd they sneak up on me?
Fox, first get rid of
Oh
the
my
Aperoids
god.
from your path.
On foot.
Also, oh my god, I always liked the Katina music, but this version of it is by far my favorite.
You charge your shot, the stronger it becomes.
They slowed it down a lot, and it feels really cool.
Fox, looks like you've got more company. Head out for the target on your radar. You gotta change weapons to fit the situation. Use that machine gun to blast the whole lot of them.
Yeah, so, Twin Stick. I believe you use the A button to swap weapons.
Yeah.
It's the one noteworthy downside of Twin Stick versus Single Stick is that you can only cycle forwards, I believe. You cannot cycle backwards in Twin Stick.
Huh.
Whereas weapon swapping on Single Stick is on the right stick, so you can push it right to go forward and left to go back.
Gun's not working on that enemy. You gotta change weapons to fit the situation.
Yeah, the machine gun usually does no damage to enemies that are like bulkier. There'll usually be like a visual effect of like a shield or something whenever the shots land, if the enemy resists it. So the machine gun is very good at crowd control, but bulky targets it's typically not good for.
Change weapons to fit the situation.
I know, Peppy, shut up.
If you ever find a Gatling gun, it's mechanically just like the machine gun, except it has like double damage, some shit like that, and half ammo. But the big thing is that the Gatling gun does not have it. Any enemy that ignores the machine gun and has defense, it just ignores that. It works on them. So it does a shit ton of damage, it shoots really fast, so it's great for crowd control, it's great for wiping out single targets, it does everything.
You know, I didn't quite realize this before, but Landmaster's not a tank.
In this game, no.
Well, no, oh yeah.
Yeah, no. It, like, in Star Fox 64 and 0, it has proper treads.
This is true.
It does not in Assault.
Fox, I've got enemies on my tail.
Shoot the building, you god.
Put that building in my way.
If you push the jump button, you start to hover. If you push it again, you cancel hovering.
No way! I can't save them! Unbelievable!
God, you suck, Crystal.
I thought I was done for. Thanks, Fox.
You know, at least Crystal has the excuse of being an actual rookie.
I'm just gonna say useless bitch and move on.
Ben getting himself cancelled for sexist conduct.
I'll have you know I have plenty of female friends.
You know just as well as anyone does how terrible of a statement that is.
Yes.
Ugh.
And if any of them are watching for some reason, I apologize.
Do you know?
Yes!
You know what, Ben? I figured it out. I just don't like women.
Kill yourself.
Damn. That's rude.
Ah, so you noticed?
something more offended by that than your blatantly sexist statement.
Eh. Personal. This sounds like a skill issue.
Whoa, what are these things?
All right.
This looks bad. Our scans show those things can spawn more Aperoids.
Pretty much every single on-foot mission has its objective being hunt down those things.
Destroy the Aperoids
Nice.
to the walls.
You're doing great, Fox. Destroy the rest of them.
They will usually have events happen over the course of it that shake it up, or where the locations they are more of the interest than killing them, obviously. But pretty much every on-foot mission, it's get the Hatchers. So.
What in the world is that giant thing? Nasty.
Higher difficulties add more Hatchers to find, and they're not just like right next to each other or anything, they make you go to more of the map. Also, Slippy's gonna die.
Use your boost to get up the slope.
Slippy needs to get good.
When you see a little red circle around the enemy, you have slight homing with your shots. You don't need to have a charge shot for it to have any homing, but though the charge shot has more accurate homing than a normal shot does with the Landmaster. Also, I've talked about this before, but given you're playing the game, anything inside the square is aim assist, where it will assume you are aiming for a target within that square, as long as they are within it. You don't have to be pinpoint accurate to hit things. I still love that this game tells you how much aim assist you have. It's not like a hidden mechanic or some shit. Hey, IKG.
Da, 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 da.
He's on Katina.
I really have to go to bed soon, but I couldn't miss this for the world.
Such just
I love running over enemies with the Landmaster. Like, it does damage the Landmaster, but, like, you just go, wee.
Ben, your audio's leaking.
Yeah. Yeah.
There has to be a way to get inside those buildings.
You must be able to get inside.
Which control scheme are you using, Red?
If there
Twin
are
stick.
survivors, they'll be the only
Nice.
witnesses.
He did the joke immediately of, wow, I thought this game didn't have control options.
Plastic bugs.
Uh,
Die already.
I wish the original Ratchet and Clank controlled more like Assault.
You gotta destroy that last one. Find it on your radar.
the third game adds a twin stick option, but it's not the default, and I didn't even know about it initially. And then the fourth game just has it be default.
Didn't, if I'm correct, didn't the second game add lock-on?
It added strafing.
Oh, strafing. That was it. Strafing is definitely important.
In a shooter.
Look, I haven't played much Ratchet and Clank, but from what I've played of the remake, imagining, oh, just no strafing.
Yeah, I mean,
in
the
that
first
kind of a game.
I mean, the first
Oh.
game was less combat oriented than the rest, but still a significant amount of enemies.
That thing is giant. And ugly.
What do you think of the game so far?
Yeah, we won.
You heard
Good.
the lady, Fox. You gotta get that core memory.
Oh fuck! I started a raid. I'm an idiot.
You got this, Red.
We believe in you, I think.
Nice.
He's playing on bronze, by the way.
Okay, cool.
Said he might go and do silver or gold off stream.
Yeah, bronze is good for a first playthrough, I think.
Yeah. I basically said if he wants the, like, you know, the first playthrough Star Fox Assault, it's bronze, but if he wants, like, a healthy difficulty curve and challenge, then that's silver.
Surprise. Dynamic camera angles in a Nintendo GameCube game. What?
Why is my team not shooting him down?
You saw Falco get shot down earlier.
This is the next mission. He should be fine.
It actually, unlike this is a big change from 64 is that they do recover by the next mission.
Right, and they kind of have
Probably
to.
because the story needs it.
Exactly.
Guys, you could have. All three of you were in our wings.
Not a bad day's work. These aperoids, as enemies go, they're a handful.
They are a handful, aren't they? So what do you think of the new cast? Trading Peppy for General Pepper and trading Crystal in place.
Curse you, Pigma. Why did you run to such a vile
I mean,
place?
I don't really have strong thoughts on Crystal, but I haven't played any game that she's been in yet, so.
Oh, okay. This will be your introduction.
Yeah.
This is also the... Well,
This is the Star Fox team.
I haven't played her debut game. I've played every other game she's in. But
You're not missing much.
I heard.
Well, given how little she's in the game.
Yeah.
I think Assault is a perfectly fine introduction to the character. I think she's great. I really like the Assault cast. I mean, it's just the best in the series by far. So it's the perfect blend of old and new.
Yeah, one of the biggest things I've never agreed with the people who said, why'd they retire Peppy? It's like, first off, he's still very active in this game.
Yeah.
And it makes
Best
sense
Peppy in
with
the
him getting
series.
older to not be a pilot. I got all of the Peppy character interactions I'd ever want. In this
Oh
game.
yeah.
If anything, I wasn't fond of Command making him no longer part of Team Star Fox. As long as he's part of the team, that's good enough for me.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't need to be a pilot. Him being in the, like, captain, or not captain's role, but, like, the advisor mission HQ role makes sense.
This is Fox. I've made it inside. How are things on your end, Slippy?
I made it too.
Okay, let's get this operation started.
And they're gonna stay on the outside.
There. A battleship.
And here we go.
You guys gotta be able to handle
Da-na-na.
it.
Da-na-na-na.
Clearly they can.
Upper left part of the screen. The gauge shows enemy presence.
Actually, that's another thing I really like about Assault is that the way that they portray the cast is that they are much more experienced than they were in 64, and that translates to the fact that they don't really need help as much.
There's a
And
nice
when-
degree of professionalism.
And when they do, it doesn't feel as stupid. Like, for lack of a better word, as contrived, I should say.
It still happens, but
Well, because it's a cool gameplay mechanic, but it seems like when it happens, it's okay, let's add something to the experience rather than In 64, it honestly feels kind of arbitrary.
Actually, a lot of people criticize Assault for feeling worse in that regard, but
No.
I don't know. I do think, at least with Crystal, it feels rather appropriate, given she is very much built as a novice character. She
Yeah.
is not familiar with this, and she therefore often gets herself stuck more often. That said, the characters like Falco and Slippy getting in trouble is like, okay, with Slippy, it's like, Slippy, but... And part of the fun of when Crystal has more professionalism than Slippy does sometimes. Falco just sometimes just does stupid shit.
Exactly. They all have a reason for getting in trouble. I wish Zero did it more, but I do like the time that Peppy takes the lead on a mission.
Yeah, I think it could be cool in general if you were able to play as the other characters in the cast more in Star Fox. It's something they shockingly haven't experimented much with outside of Command and 2.
I will say, I don't have a lot of things that I like about Command, but I actually really like how they implement that in Command. And how they each play a little differently.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically
that.
just what they wanted to do with 2, but
Yeah.
it's still cool.
Mhm.
I'm not super fond of how it's implemented in Command, from what I play, but it has a lot more to do with Command's missions, honestly, than it does the,
Watch out, it's got the Gatling gun.
The Gatling's fucking scary.
Especially in multiplayer.
The Gatling is the thing I keep in my pocket as this situation's bad and my score is going down, ready to whip it out.
For Prime 2 Echoes multiplayer, it's basically the equivalent of having the Annihilator Beam. Like, you know how quickly you kill people in that game with the Annihilator Beam? It's insane. It's just like this. Hey, bud.
Why don't you fucking find him? That's what I'm doing, Fox. Why are you being so mean?
If only Ron was here, I'd make a Valentin Zadornov joke.
Hello?
Ron?
Yeah. Say his name.
Since when did you get here?
Right when you were saying it, actually.
Hold on.
I'm scared. What's happening? That was great timing.
As soon as I joined, I heard, as soon as Ron gets here.
Ron, that's perfect timing. I summoned you with a Peace Walker reference of all things.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The man knows me.
That's because in game dialogue, Slippy said, like, I wonder where Pigma's hiding, and Red was running around the interior, and I was wondering, I was like, if only he was like hiding like in a cardboard box like Zadornov, and I was like, oh, Ron's not here, and like, here you are.
All right, that's. Yeah, no, I just saw that Red was playing Star Fox Assault, and I figured, you know what? I'll join this.
Same for me. Oh, careful, Red. That bar is getting pretty full. You might want to head outside.
I saw one.
Yeah, no,
destroy over. Yeah, there it is.
The IKG's thinking of me.
Again, be careful. If that bar gets full, you just lose.
He knows my favorite game of all time is Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, because it is. It is literally just
and
the
particularly
video game of all time.
Yes, and particularly the PSP version.
Oh yeah, no.
You prefer the 20 FPS, correct?
I like how the PSP version lets you see all the frames.
I can count the frames.
I really
It has
do.
so many more frames.
Nice. Lose that missile.
God. I actually have played the PSP version of Peace Walker. Though, probably over a decade at this point, but I have played it.
Mm-hmm.
In 2010, I might add.
I've played Assault on the PSP. No, I haven't.
Imagine Star Fox Assault as a PSP game. They'd have to really compress the music.
Yeah. Da da da. Nice, Red. Good cleanup in the great outdoors of space.
And if only you guys, whose job it was, could do that.
They actually do occasionally, just not much.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's an improvement over 64, I swear.
Like, I understand, gameplay-wise, it'd be boring if they could just, carry themselves, but...
I think, at the very least, I think they sell the illusion better than in 64. I really do.
A little bit, but they also have more scripted moments in 64 of the teammates doing things.
That is true. That is true. I can't deny that. Zero actually probably does the best with that.
I just really like the team dynamics in Zero.
Oh, me too. Me too. I mean, it's not Assault, but I really do like the dialogue and the way the characters interact in Zero. It is just like 64, but just better. I don't know how else to put it.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's a lot of quotes or almost quotes from 64 or scenes that play out nearly the same. And I get it, but given what it is, and a lot of the times I like how they do it more anyway.
Yeah. It's the case where it's the definitive version of something you were kind of tired of already, but it is at least still the definitive version of it, for what that's worth. Oof, you just gun those down. Red's doing really nice.
Yeah. So as you guys probably saw, I decided to finally hop on the trend and tell Twitter what my 4 favorite characters in fiction were.
I did. I saw Naked Snake, I think, is a really awesome choice, for sure. I mean, you basically take my James Bond choice and replace that with Naked Snake, and it's pretty much just as good. You know?
I mean, from what I'm to understand, they're the same character, almost.
Kind of. Actually,
In a way.
now that I think about it, the tragedy of MGS3 is actually very similar to the tragedy of James Bond. That's a good video idea, now that I think about it.
Though, obviously, Bond
definitely had his own boss. So.
Obviously, I have a stronger attraction to one of those more than the other.
I love both so much.
That guy's death earlier with the wah!
Yeah, no, I almost wanted to conform to the one per franchise rule, and I was really thinking of if there was anyone from a different franchise that would be as good of a fit for that spot besides Naked Snake, but nope.
The Raiden's an awesome choice too.
Yeah. I went Raiden, Samus, Spider-Man, and Naked Snake.
It's characters in fiction, not video games.
Fiction, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I put a mix of TV, film, and games in mine.
Well, I was assuming it was fiction and not video games, given the Spider-Man. Not that Spider-Man isn't a game character, but I didn't think that's what Ron was referring to.
I mean, Spider-Man PS4 does make that a little
Oh, have
easier
you
for
played?
him to blend. No, but I.
Okay, that's why I was one of the reasons I was thinking it was.
I haven't like fully played the game, but I have like seen a lot of it.
That game, so fucking good.
Yeah.
It genuinely does a lot of things that Raimi fans want from Spider-Man.
Yeah, no.
You have my attention.
While for somebody like me, it also addresses a lot of the things I find lacking about that interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
It's also just
Crystal.
in general one of the most faithful interpretations of the character
Yeah.
from its source material.
This isn't looking good. I'm in real trouble.
That's I will admit, like, with Raimi, you all know I'm absolutely willing to take a lot of the bad with
Oh,
the good,
Red,
but,
you were so
like,
close.
Take a lot of bad with the good for that, but there's plenty of things that Spider-Man PS4 just does better.
In terms of the themes and storytelling and emotional through line, it is like a Raimi Spider-Man story. It's just the world writing and characterization is a lot more faithful to Spider-Man than Raimi was.
Yeah.
You've improved your skills, Fox.
Not that Raimi was unfaithful, just,
Bye, Panther.
more than he was.
So I guess I should also admit, since this is my favorite characters in fiction, I did choose a picture of Raimi Spider-Man for a reason.
Well, I know you love Raimi Spider-Man. I'm not,
Raindrops keep falling.
making a statement about that.
Mm-hmm.
Falco needs your help. Da-da-da-da-da.
I'd have to put a lot of thought into what my favorite characters in all of fiction would be.
I mean, yeah, it's a hard task. I didn't take mine too seriously, but if I had to make an approximation without spending 20 hours on it, that's what I came up with,
I just
So
Bro, I'd
at some
have to
point,
think
at
of
some point, it
what-
has to be good enough. You know what I mean?
I'd have to think of what characters from Avatar would end up in there,
Mm-hmm.
Well, I had to think about
Although Iroh
which
just
Ace
has a
Attorney
shot.
character I wanted to go with, and I ultimately chose Miles Edgeworth.
I almost wanted to put
Iroh is so good. I love
I
Iroh.
just couldn't. I just couldn't not include the ones that I did put on there.
Yeah, no shade to you. Just Iroh.
Oh, Leon. Boom. Me.
If
I
had
love how Leon's even more gross in this game than he already was in 64.
If I had to pinpoint the best written elderly character in fiction, I would have a very strong inclination to say Iroh.
You know what? Yeah.
Oof.
Like, Iroh is so good. And it's so cool they managed to run the line of the wise elderly figure while not making that his whole character and humanizing him. Oh my god, it's so amazing.
Like with Ant-Man, Spider-Man 2.
That's enough for now.
Yeah, no, Ant-Man and Spider-Man 2, they did a great job with that.
I love
The thing,
her
in fact,
performance.
actually that is a good way of putting it. Imagine what they did with Ant-Man and Spider-Man 2, but they did more of it for longer with more focus.
Yeah.
The lovely crystal word.
That's
much.
actually a pretty good explanation of Iroh to somebody who hasn't watched the show.
Yeah.
On top of the fact that he has more moral complications than Ant-Man to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he is a very morally good character, but he didn't start that way.
Mm-hmm.
He's a character who's gone through his character arc before the show started. You know?
Banter. Leon.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
And then they show you that and drop hints of it and how it applies to the current show, because one of the best arcs in fiction ever written is Zuko's.
I don't necessarily mind this, but it is kind of funny that the whole reason this mission was even worthwhile was because Crystal was so hot that Panther gave away where his location was, and that's the reason this was a success.
Yeah.
I don't mind. I just think that's kind of funny that like Figma wasn't here, but we found out where he is because Panther has the hots for Crystal. Okay, great. Thank you.
And
Thank you
Panther
so much.
definitely has his priorities, I guess you could say.
And then Wolf was like, "You talk too much."
Oh yeah, I said it earlier, but Wolf is voiced by the same voice actor who plays the engineer in TF2.
Yes. Yep.
Grant Goodeve.
Best Wolf.
Oh, I love his performance as Wolf.
Honestly, all of my favorite cast members are in this game. There's nobody I prefer from Zero, even.
I prefer Fox, but I still really like this Fox.
I swear by this Fox. I still love
Fox
him
is
in
great.
Zero, but just my favorite. It just
Yeah, no, this Fox is great. I'm not going to complain at all.
I'll go down and get the generator back up.
Um,
If I can just get to the climate control.
I think I like both Peppies a lot too, but honestly, you know what I like more than 64 3D or Zero's Peppy?
I don't know.
Rick May in the original 64.
Rick May was really good.
Rick, honestly,
he was probably the standout in 64, which already had a lot of iconic voices. Obviously, I think Rick May was actually the standout in 64, and not just for do a barrel roll, but like just in general.
Well, yeah, he also did great with Andros.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But like Rick, I think genuinely, Peppy is the. I know a lot of people complain about the performances in in 64 3D, the redubs. I generally like them, but of all of them, I think Peppy was the biggest downgrade. I think
I have to
Peppy,
do a more direct comparison to remember.
like Peppy's not bad in 64 3D, but I think Rick May did a better job.
We're just spinning our wheels here.
I really like Rick May's performance as Peppy in the original. Also, I should look more into it, but I believe there are mods for 64 3D that replace the voice acting with the uncompressed clips from the leak.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm just looking at your tweet, IKG, your four favorites. That's Leighton, Leslie Knope, James Bond, and Edgeworth. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yes.
Oh yeah, Red, you've done 3 missions and you've been playing for about an hour. Do you think you're going to stick through to finish the game tonight, or call the stream early at mission 5? Because you're about a third of the way through the game, more like a quarter, but about a third.
Just depends on what it's like when I get to mission 5.
Okay.
I mean, it's up to you. Yeah, I would.
When he started this,
I would
it was a
honestly
1 or 2
recommend
stream
splitting it
game.
in half, to be honest. But it's up to you. If you want to go all the way, you definitely can. I would
This
split it
isn't
in
a
half. though.
huge game. And to be fair, he is playing Bronze, which has less objectives.
That is true. The missions themselves are technically shorter, but it's also his first time, so
Yeah, I know.
yeah.
So it's, it's a question. Assault is a game that can still be played in one sitting. It's just Evolve the Star Fox game starts to stretch that a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially if you're paying attention to the story when you're playing it. I really like this mission. I mean, I like pretty much every mission in the game a lot, but
I don't think there's a single mission I don't think is at least great. Which is a really high bar, but it's true.
Alright, what's the worst mission in the game?
What's the worst mission, you think?
The power supply should be somewhere above. That's it.
I'm gonna say the worst mission in Star Fox Assault is Ficina. Actually, it's gonna be this one. If I had to pick one, I think it's gonna be Ficina. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. The only reason I could think is because while you don't have to be in the Landmaster until you need to shoot the
towers.
Weather towers.
The climate control towers.
The
or
climate
whatever.
control towers. The gameplay on foot in this first act, we'll call it, still does not really benefit from on foot travel. I've done it just for fun to explore.
It takes longer, and you're less effective, just in general.
It's very ineffective.
They want you to take the land.
However, I actually would praise the design of this level for being designed that way because it
stands out.
It stands out because it feels like
it
kind
is
of
the...
like a. Okay, all right, just let me talk.
I'm sorry.
It's kind of like a, the equivalent of like a Titania from '64, but they're still not full out restricting you. They're still giving you choices, which are nice, but it is very much designed around the Landmaster. I actually like that. The reason I bring it up as why this is my least favorite level, if I had to pick one, is only because it's, when you actually look at the content of the mission, it just feels like it's just missing a little something. There's no on-rail section. There's no traditional on-rail section. I'll get to that. And so what you have is basically a Landmaster section. That's good. You have an indoor section on foot that's combat heavy. That's really good. You have the on-rails tour, I call it, on the R-Wing with the infinite ammo, which is fun. And then you have an all-range mode boss fight. All of these components are good, and they work well together, but there's just something missing. Either it needed a more in-depth on-foot section, like Katina, or it needed an on-rail section. I don't know, it's just missing. But the reason, like, the fact that I have to be this nitpicky is telling, because I still think this is a great mission. But the way it tries to shake things up in order to stand out means it is ever so slightly missing something. But do you know what? Therefore, I think it's so smart that one of the fully on-rails missions comes right next. So it's like they knew that. The game's very well paced, because by this point, when you finish Ficina, I feel like you're really craving an on-rails R-Wing level, and that's exactly what you get next. So I really have nothing to complain about, but that's my pitch.
I'm just glad there is a level built specifically around the Landmaster. I can get that, and the Landmaster just has less gameplay options than on foot. Mm-hmm. You can tell the Landmaster was built to accentuate the on foot gameplay, not be its own thing.
Yes,
but it's still cool to have a major section of the game that is built specifically around the Landmaster, because there's not much for that in the game, where mostly the Landmaster is like a optional ability for either taking out airborne targets or crushing things in the more open parts of levels.
Absolutely.
It's a stylistic choice. And this is the section that doesn't follow that trend. And I like that. The only other thing is the boss of Katina.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's the end of the blizzard.
And actually, Katina is the level I was kind of juggling on. Because on the one hand, Katina is a great introduction to that level type and getting you into it. But compared to every other level in the game, it's possibly the simplest.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You kind of just run around, shoot a bunch of targets, and then fight the boss, and that's the level.
And you only really realize that in retrospect, because again, the mission has that excellent assault pacing and amazing story connection that it's still really enthralling as you're going through.
Yeah, and going for score still has some fun decisions to be made, but I also think Saria does the same thing Katina's doing, but is more interesting.
You mean Ficina?
No, I mean Saria.
Oh.
Saria's structure is just you go and do a bunch of targets, and you don't even have a boss. You just finish the level. But
it's the more advanced version of Katina.
There's a lot more going on, and they have like the sky meter on like Katina, and like it's just the level design is a lot more complex. The targets
I forgot how few of these they send you on bronze. I'm like, where are all of them?
Yeah, they also get more dense near the farther it goes.
On gold, I'm like surprised it's maintaining its frame
rate. Version of the swarm. Wait, is that actually its swarm is 4?
Yeah, it's like 4 or 5 of them.
Like the end is a swarm. Was that the? I don't think that's the end of it. No.
This is the end of it for bronze. Yeah.
No.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it is.
It's been a while.
Yeah. I know, I was like, really? That's it? No, on silver, there's like 20, and then like I swear on gold, there must be like
There's
at
so
least
many.
50. At least 50. I'm surprised it can maintain 30 FPS. There's so many. It's like, it's really overwhelming too. It really puts you in Fox shoes.
Oh my god. I'm just looking at this like, holy shit, there's not that many sentry bots here.
Watch, I'm telling you, Falco's gonna show up any second.
Oh, no, there's at Swarm.
Yeah,
Okay,
there-
that's still not a lot.
It's like 10. It's like 10.
Okay,
Something.
more than 5. You're
Okay,
right.
okay.
But
No, I respect that. That's fine.
I was
I
wrong.
don't know. Sounds like gold really
There we go.
changes a man.
Yes.
And silver. Silver has a lot too.
No, silver is a healthy
Scumbags.
difficulty mode. It's... Silver's challenging. It's
As much
just
as I
gold
have
is-
come around on gold, thanks to you, I still think silver's definitely the best experience. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
silver if you want to just experience Star
Like,
Fox
gold
Assault
is
the best
great
game.
if you want to get the most out of the game, like we do, but silver's just probably the best intended quote-unquote difficulty, I think.
No, I,
you know.
I understand. Like, as an experience, Star Fox Assault is best at silver.
On silver, yeah.
But in terms of playing it at its peak level for that arcadey goodness, oh my god, I love gold.
That's fair. That's fair.
Get this room.
General Pepper. Christmas gift.
Falco just brought it with him.
Oh, I forgot. It's called the Plasma Cannon. It even kind of looks like the Metroid Prime Plasma. A little bit.
I like to believe the reason you don't just use this is because it's so heavy that you can't really move with it,
I could buy that.
which makes it used for turret sections. Although, I think this is a reference to Star Fox 64's multiplayer, where this weapon is basically what they use there.
Yeah. I think
That
that's what
said, they
inspired
do
it.
technically move around with that.
But that's also non-canon, so it's okay.
No, for the love of God, don't barrel roll.
Yeah.
He never barrel rolls anyway. He'd be able to get himself out of situations if he did.
This level's so pretty.
You know, Fox, I heard you said I should start using more barrel rolls, so I thought I'd start taking your advice. But Falco,
I want to
no!
I want to ask you the same question you asked me though, Rain. What do you think, if you had to pick, is the worst level of Assault? Would you also say Ficina, or would you say something else?
Well, I started thinking on Katina, and I'm not sure.
I really like Katina. I think, especially as the second
do.
level, it's really good. A great introduction to the on-foot gameplay, I think.
I kind of like playing Ficina more than Katina, though.
I think I enjoy Katina more, actually, because I feel like I can experiment a little more with the structure of that level. So
I
it's
get
better
that.
on replays?
I do get
know what
that,
I mean?
but I just like how dynamic Ficina is.
Ficina is definitely more dynamic, but it is also more scripted, which isn't a bad thing.
No,
But-
I think it leans into that really well, is the thing. And I like...
It does,
And
but
also,
I'd rather
it was
hop
the
into
fir-
Katina. you
I
know?
also have some fun time with the fact that Ficina is the first level that kicked my shit in on gold.
Oh. Well, for me, that was Sargasso. I got destroyed in
I mean, Sargasso definitely gave me trouble, but I spent a
That was my
long
first
time
level.
on Ficina.
Okay.
Like, Ficina
yeah.
definitely made me go, okay, I need to think about my routing, you know?
Well, these hatchers that charge lasers that give you the warning that Red's mowing down, they become extremely threatening on gold. Because they're not only are there more of them, but they're actually hidden in tough spots to find. And if you don't find them, you're done.
I love these sections trying to keep your combo up the whole time. It's fun.
Just watching that bar slowly go down on the right, it's like, no, I need more. I
Where's
need
more enemies? Where are they?
Where are they?
I find it funny because people talk so much about how like you're stuck waiting in these sections, and it's because they're not looking around for more targets.
But but if you play into the combo, it's actually designed perfectly. It's scripted
There's stuff
beautifully.
everywhere. There's only ever few moments.
This is why you would love Kid Icarus Uprising and why it's a crime you haven't played it yet. Because it
will
does
get
everything.
around to it.
It does everything this game does and better. And you know how much I love this game. So.
Oh yeah.
Like,
By the
I'm-
way,
Think about which one I like better.
how is the Circle Pad Pro support for that game?
Never tried it. Didn't feel like I needed it. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I know that it has it though. I do know that. It probably is better with it than without. I've never. I put my 500 hours in that game before the new 3DS even came out, so I don't know. But it would be worth trying.
Opposed to the next Star Fox game coming out in 2036.
The only thing that's holding Uprising back is its control scheme. But I'm telling you, if they put a dual stick with gyro Support the game's perfect. That's all you have to do. I'm serious.
Still think it's so funny that Retro Studios pitched a Star Fox game that basically had Zero's gimmick.
Yeah.
And if that game came out on the Wii like they wanted to, people probably would have said, "Oh my god, it's another Retro Studios classic, it's amazing."
Yeah, probably. And they also probably would have been right, too, to be fair.
I don't disagree, it's just, you know...
Yeah,
people talk about
funny.
Zero's controls as if, like, it's just bad. It's a stupid idea, why'd they do it?
See, look, Falco's trying. He's trying to tail him. See? They're more competent in this game.
He's leaning a lot for Fox being on his wing.
Gonna hope that he has, like, magnets in his boots or something.
Yeah, like Ratchet.
Yeah, that wouldn't shock me.
Ratchet gets an upgrade in the first game. Lets him do that, so... This boss is okay. It's probably the weakest one in the game, but it's still alright.
I think it's fun to go and line up the shots, but it's certainly not like a complicated boss.
Yeah.
I will say, one thing I've always liked about Assault is how a lot of it's designed to overwhelm you, but like in a good way. It's like a good kind of overwhelming.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, no, Star Fox in general does that when you're going for score. You know?
I know, but you really feel that in Assault.
Also, honestly, if any Star Fox game overwhelmed me the most, it's Zero.
I think Assault still more than Zero for me.
I feel like
it comes down to that story connection.
The game I still haven't played.
Yes, but it has to do with the fact that Zero makes you juggle more than any other Star Fox game.
True, but it also gives you more tools to do it. It's one of those kind of... It's like a Metroid Dread situation, you know?
But a lot of the juggling you do in Assault has to do with the the meter anyway, which you always can just hop in, deal with, and leave. It's not nearly as pressuring as people think it is.
I mean, that you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Now, what I do think gives a lot of pressure in Assault is the combo meter. That is something.
What gives me a lot of pressure is
also Assault is
running out of turns in command.
Like Assault on Gold is the hardest Star Fox game.
Oh, yeah.
Which definitely gives it an edge.
What about Five Nights at Grippy's?
I need to actually like play through
No,
the game to
it's
give you a better
not.
statement.
It's got a good difficulty curve, but no, it's not like ridiculously hard. Yes. Obey us.
What? I'm not gonna turn a problem.
Obey. This game is scary. I'm glad I didn't play it as a kid, because I would have nightmares.
I literally had one nightmare as a kid about the Aporoids.
This game's effed up as far as Nintendo games go, especially near the end. It's really messed up.
I love it.
I love its darker moments too because it handles it so well. But when I take a step back, I'm like, holy crap! Nintendo made this game in 2005. Like this is pretty serious. Like.
GameCube era Nintendo is different.
Yeah.
It's one of the things I love the most about the GameCube era is their attitude towards their properties.
You think you found a safe place to run to? You think we're gonna give up?
The fact that they dumped this Star Fox game on our laps and thought this was exactly what we wanted is perfect. It's what I wanted, man. This kind of Nintendo philosophy. Which is one of the things I've liked better about the Switch era, is that they've taken more steps in that direction.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
It's still not the same, but I've appreciated it. I mean, hell, the fact that we have a game like Mario Odyssey is still incredible.
You know, all this footage, all this like watching footage of Assault is really just making me realize I've not played this game in so long. I need to come back to it.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for lending me a hand back there.
What these guys playing though? Just fly in front of the lasers.
Why are these things chasing the Arwings?
Whoa, you've got to try rolling.
You've got to try rolling.
I like that line better than.
Let's try
the barrel
spinning.
roll.
That's a good trick.
I actually do think it's because of Star Wars that I like that line.
Crystal!
I can't get away! Help, Fox! Phew, you saved me. Thanks, Fox.
Better on actual hardware, but I noticed the pop-in's a little. It's pretty noticeable.
Whoa, it's closing!
Hit. Use your brakes.
This is for
I don't
helping me.
remember actually what this part of the game was like on.
No, not
original
even
hardware.
just here. The
What's
previous
this here?
levels I noticed it too.
Ah, I wouldn't be surprised if the original was like that. This game was pushing the hardware a decent bit. It does look like an early 360 game in some places.
Yeah.
Or my tail. I can't lose them. Sorry about that. Hate to show you such bad flying.
Why are you doing so often?
Remember this guy?
Is that the prototype we saw earlier?
Look closely. It's being collected by the Admiral.
Yow!
Oh, it has like no health on bronze. Wow. That was quick. Now you're just gonna awkwardly sit here for a bit.
There's hemorrhoids.
There's so much weight.
Okay, we can get in over there.
So much waiting in Carfax ass pull.
Yikes! What do I do? Knock it off! Leave me alone! Whoa! I can't go on! I'm out of here.
Okay. I feel like the charge shots have a smaller blast radius than in 64.
I think they do. Yeah. I think you're right.
I remember in 64 being able to like destroy like entire groups of enemies chasing the others with a single charge shot.
Zero actually brings that back, but yeah, in Assault it's a little more narrow, I think.
This way.
Pigma's up ahead.
Fox, proceed with caution.
I see you're at the end of level 5.
Pigma ship?
Yeah, you've been streaming for about an hour and a half.
Pigma.
Not even. Yeah, no, you could beat the game.
Yeah, probably.
My sister came in here to assault a cat.
Star Fox assault the cat.
What is that thing?
I was about
And
to say
and for the
that.
internet's sake, assault a cat with affection. It's not literal. Don't cancel me or Red. Oh my god, this always fucked with me as a kid though, this scene.
Yeah.
I don't remember ever being particularly scared of this game, but I will admit Pigma did
This
you know,
fucked with me.
a little bit when I first saw it. When I first saw him in this game.
Well, seeing
Just a little.
this happen to Pigma and seeing Pigma go through like the voices in his head changing his personality, oh my god. I was not ready. I was like 8 or something. Or, you know, give or take. And I was like, oh, wait. That's spooky. I already was a very existentially minded kid, so thinking about, like, something being able to just take over your mind like that and seeing what it was doing to Pigma, ooh, that, I didn't like that.
I'd imagine.
I always like to think of this boss as being a pseudo-remake of the Area 6 boss from 64.
It feels inspired by it, doesn't it?
Gotta shoot the tentacles to open it up the center so that he can shoot there. A lot of the attack patterns are very similar, and especially the laser. Which he doesn't even do because he died too fast on bronze. Oh, man.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah, bronze is definitely not hard. Although, it's interesting to see because Red's been low health many times. Which is part of why I always did feel like bronze does do a good job being an introduction to the game. But it's not hard. Is there any mission you haven't gotten the bronze medal on?
I don't think so.
Yeah, the bronze medals are easy to get. Usually,
Flippy seems to have
you can
thought
get
it, the
them
level was
first
hard.
playthrough. Oh, it's really easy to lose Slippy on that level.
We've retrieved the core memory. It should reveal the location of their
This is where you think the game's gonna end.
It's also pretty this actually would work pretty well as a pulling a wool over your eyes, because this is like 2 levels short of where 64 would have ended, like 1 or 2.
Exactly. God, I love the story so much.
Understood. We're on our way.
Fox. I'm sensing a distress call from Planet Sauria.
Sauria? From Tricky?
I'm not sure. But I sense
Okay.
Dun-dun-dun.
It is strange that they just immediately retconned that to being called Saria, but it is a very good Star Fox name for a dinosaur planet.
Look at that! It's horrible.
What have they done to Sauria's dinosaurs? This is unforgivable. Aporoid hatchers.
I almost wish it was called Saria from the beginning.
If we can destroy those
Yeah.
hatchers, we might just have a chance.
Obviously, it wasn't even supposed to be a Star Fox game, which is why it was not Saria, but like...
The skies are yours.
No, it's definitely a good retcon.
I really like the name. It fits in
So,
perfectly with the others.
Let's go.
Fox, let them have their moment.
What?
Or Falco.
Fox is being awkward and flirty, and
Liberate
Crystal's
Saria.
taking advantage of that.
This is one of the best levels in the franchise, so enjoy.
It's such a simple level.
This was probably my favorite, actually.
This is a contender for me. Ironically, because this is such pure on-foot mission gameplay, a lot of people, I believe, don't like it. Because it represents a lot of what people didn't like about Assault, all in one level.
Give a shit.
It's also on the on Silver and Gold can be pretty challenging.
Give a shit. No, yeah.
I mean, kinda.
But still. The music.
Oh yeah, I was commenting about the music before you got on stream.
Watch out.
We got gifted this game.
This game is a gift. It's one of those games that feels like one. Like, we didn't deserve this. This is amazing.
Koji Kondo, how much was he involved with this game's soundtrack?
Not at all, I don't believe. Other than the fact that his compositions form the basis for a lot of the pieces. But I don't believe he wrote for Assault, did he? I think so.
I have no idea. That's kind of sad to think about because he also was asking to have access to orchestration for Twilight Princess. I think he really wanted to...
He eventually got it, though, with Galaxy, which is good.
Yeah, it's just... You know, he wanted to orchestrate so badly, I think, and just looking at all these franchises he traditionally composed for that he didn't really get to orchestrate for. Like, he didn't orchestrate for Zelda. Every time they did that, it was not him.
That's true. Yeah, they hired the anime
he made,
guy
like,
for
one or
Skyward
two
Sword.
pieces, but...
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, his contribution to Skyward Sword, it was one piece, but it was one hell of a piece.
Yeah, no, he did a fantastic job. It's just...
What was that?
It was a Battle of the Goddess, right?
No.
No? Then it was, fuck. What was it? I don't remember.
You don't remember?
Don't remember what it was that he contributed then. I thought it was Battle of the Goddess, I don't remember.
Well, he composed the opening cinematic music.
Oh!
The blot painting orchestration, that was him. And that's a very impressive multi-movement cinematic piece of music. It's very good.
Not the kind of thing he normally does.
Not at all. And it fully takes advantage of the orchestra. It is not anything you normally hear Koji Kondo make for video games. And he nailed it. I mean, it's like... It's very Hans Zimmer-esque, but it's amazing. It's so good.
I know praising Koji Kondo is like one of the, wow, really? Crazy opinion you have there, things to do, but like, he is a incredible composer.
Yes.
There is a reason he has his reputation in the industry.
I'm still not used to Bronze lightening up all the things. Like, you only have 2 targets left? I'd had like 12 left if I was playing this.
Yeah, no, Bronze is a lot easier.
Yeah.
That was one of the things, one of the reasons I was interested in Red playing this game is all the times he talked about games like GoldenEye and Perfect Dark, where their philosophy for their harder difficulties is giving you more objectives to complete.
Oh yeah, that's...
And like, Assault's not literally the same, because it's not like new types of objectives, but it's the same philosophy of giving you more to do as a way of making the game harder, not just the same thing, but scaling up the numbers, you know.
And oh god, they still scale up the numbers.
Well,
it's terrifying. It's terrifying.
Silver makes you have to pay attention
cello
to
French horn solo, by the way, is beautiful.
Silver does a good job making you have to consider your weapons for what situation you're in, but in Gold, as I've said before, you practically have to consider every bullet you're using.
Oh yeah.
It's something.
Well, in Gold, you just need to survive.
Surviving, but even if you survive, that doesn't mean you got the medal. That's the thing. Like, Gold
That's true. That's true.
Like, you still have to really try to get those medals.
And resources are hard to come by in Gold, because everything's so beefy.
Yeah, everything dies quickly, or much slower.
Right.
And the things that kill things quickly are so limited.
Not even a single rocket,
No, but the
rocket
nerf
missile
to
will
the
be enough.
rocket launcher is a big deal.
Yeah, but a welcomed one. Same with the sniper.
The rocket launcher on Bronze especially, but Silver as well to a lesser degree, is something you lean on a lot.
I actually like using the grenades in corridors in Gold, because it protects Fox a bit to kind of attack from a distance. You know
The
what I mean?
only level I've found grenades somewhat useful on is Aperoid Homeworld for that reason.
Oh yeah, especially Aperoid.
Because Aperoid Homeworld has a lot of corridors.
Mm-hmm.
And while it bounces around wildly with low gravity, if the corridor's tight enough, it's not like there's much it can go.
Right. So even its crazy physics, as we talked about, can actually be somewhat tamed in that instance.
Yeah. Grenades are definitely the low points of Assault's weapon design.
Yeah, I prefer the name palms, or what are they called? The ones that stand still on the ground. They're kind of like mines. You know, I forget what they're called. They can be helpful.
They can. They're not that good in single player, I find.
Yeah, they're definitely better for multiplayer, setting up traps.
It is
stuff like
kind
that.
of. It has always been strange to me that they were part of the single player toolkit of all weapons.
Yeah.
Because they feel so tailored to multiplayer. The enemy AI is not complicated or dynamic
Yeah,
enough.
grenades are good here, Red, for sure. I really like... Oh, sensor bomb, that's what they're called.
Yeah.
I really like how the sniper rifle is used in Corneria. A lot.
Oh, I love the sniper rifle in general in this game. It is...
Do you guys remember my review where I talked about the reticle? But, like, I stand by that part. Like, it's really important, like, how they got that right. That's awesome.
I was praising earlier. This game tells you where your aim assist is.
Yeah.
I love that.
Nice job, Red.
Games should do that.
That was the mission.
Yeah, no, it's...
No boss, nothing. Nope, that's it.
It's definitely easy on bronze.
Trust me,
That
on
felt
gold...
like
Also, you didn't get the medal.
On gold, you'll be glad there's no boss. You'll be, like, sweating.
That felt like the beginning part of the level rather than the full level.
It's worth noting, Red, you didn't get the medal. That's the thing.
It's actually really appropriate in the story that there's no boss, and the ending of this level actually being happy is really important for this part of the game, I think.
I guess I could have spent more time killing enemies.
That's the thing. You have to go out of your way to get in Saria to get routing that makes you do more than the bare minimum. And on the higher difficulties, the level can be punishing.
Besides, I'm leaving Saria in your care. Remember,
But it's a very straightforward level. It doesn't have much in the way of a gimmick or a twist. It's just, this is what you're doing, go do it. You know?
Wait, it's some of my favorite lines.
I swear, I just thought this was Sonic. I thought this was Star Fox Adventures for a second.
I mean,
This isn't a
there's
conversation
There's
for children.
Crystal. This is the same planet, so...
I thought that this was Sonic Adventure.
No. Star Fox.
Well, yes, kind of.
You just don't want to talk about it.
Let's stop acting like one.
Also, he's written pretty well in line to Tricky's character, and with interactions with Fox in Adventures.
Now this is where things get serious again.
Oh, I love this mission. Corneria is a contender
You know
for
what?
my
This
favorite
is
mission
like
in the game.
this is probably like my second favorite mission.
It's a good
I
one.
still need to play
I
Assault.
love this.
Corneria is so
Um,
fucking good.
Best Corneria in the series, for one thing.
Actually, yes. That I
Red is still actually streaming, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The Radar Jammers.
Is he still called Rob64 in this?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, that's funny.
Forever 64.
They
Even
don't-
in
A
Well,
lot
actually-
of games don't refer to the 64 part of it. A lot of games shorten it to Rob, but his
I was
name
gonna say-
is Rob64.
I was gonna say Command actually does shorten it. Yeah.
I think
After
they
putting so
usually,
many-
at least in this game, just say Rob.
After putting so many hours into Zero, it is honestly just really hard to go back to 64 because I instinctively want to use gyro aim and not move the ship.
I mean, I understand, but 64 has such good levels and gameplay design that
Yeah, but I will agree to that, but I just felt like it feels noticeably clunkier for some reason.
Honestly,
in comparison. It
not
just made it
really.
really hard to go back.
I mean, like,
That's
okay,
just
I
me.
would say that about the Landmaster, definitely. But
No, I didn't play that. And this is coming from somebody who not only has 64 3D, but has a physical copy of 64 and played
Gen-
it on the 64.
well, I don't really love the original control scheme for 64.
I don't, but I will admit though, that analog stick on the 64 is good. It feels good.
Oh no, if the game feels... Star Fox 64 is the best analog control on the Nintendo 64, bar none.
Better than it feels better than 3D on the Circle Pad.
Yeah, I'd agree. Not,
And
but
yes, I
still
will
prefer how 3D feels due to
Yeah, I
a
can see
number
that.
of things. But I will say, yes, the analog does feel better than the Circle Pad.
just played Stover in my
What
room
is this?
and I
What-
found my copy
what
of
track?
Assault.
What track is this remixing?
Corneria.
Corneria.
Oh, yeah, it took me a minute. I hear it now.
You didn't know it?
It's a lot slower.
I had a braineurism. I'm sorry.
I would
But yes,
do so
and I am
much.
a
I would
little
do.
bit-
I would do so much to have the opportunity to work with an orchestra on these pieces. It would
See,
be so much fun.
IKG, become a school teacher and have the band students perform a Star Fox Assault piece.
Yes.
Yeah, I could
I
do it.
would pay to watch that, actually.
I would definitely do that. Like, I'm not
I've
even
always
joking.
kind
Like,
of-
there's definitely will be a time and place for that for sure.
I always kind of have a little bit of a fantasy of like being a music school teacher and having them play From Software songs because they're so damn good.
I was talking earlier about how much I love this game's arrangement of Katina.
Oh my god, yeah. I mean,
but
honestly though, I would only do it. You got to be careful with this stuff. I would only do Star Fox no younger than high school, probably collegiate, because Assault's pieces are not
I know.
easy.
That's also
and they call for
Sometimes I like to
symphonic
imagine
orchestra.
myself-
They call
Sometimes
for
I like to imagine myself as like the composer, having a bunch of kids play Assault soundtrack. I also have done the same before with Mario Galaxy, like
Mhm.
way back when.
They do also call for it is symphonic orchestra, so there's not a lot of programs that let you do combined numbers like that. So I would say collegiate. If I ever teach at a college, there's a better shot. But then there's also a lot of other repertoire I'd have to do. So it's hard, but I mean maybe I wouldn't count it out.
That's also part of why I specifically meant like a piece rather than like the soundtrack, because I imagined that the soundtrack has a lot of pieces that would be a little difficult for public education.
Yeah.
I
But
would
Let's
also
see.
like
the
to
probably
add
the easiest piece would probably be. Well, it depends on the strengths of my students. If they can do staccato really well, I would probably do the Asteroid Belt. But I'd have to have really good cellists for that soli part. So I don't know. It depends on what I have, you know.
Actually, Corneria, because of its slow pace, is not super difficult for people to practice its individual parts. I would
That's
think.
true. No, I think this arrangement of Corneria would be probably would be the best choice. But again, I need a really good percussion section for this.
Yeah,
piece.
I
Really
honest-
good percussion section.
I'm a pretty big fan of Zero's Corneria arrangement.
Well, it's
Oh,
not
I
an
like that
arrangement,
one
it's a new
too.
piece. But
Yeah, I like that piece too. But
I like it. I like the Star Fox 64 Corneria more, especially Assault's version of that piece.
Mhm.
But no,
also,
I
can I
rather
just
like
rant as a
for
public
Zero's.
music teacher for a second? It's so hard to get oboe players, like kids.
In my high school, we only had two.
Yeah,
Two.
that sounds about right.
My middle school music teacher was pushing people to move to baritone.
Oh, that's good. That's
One
important too.
Whenever I played clarinet,
There was a
in
lot of
middle-
trumpet players.
Mm-hmm.
I played clarinet in middle school, and I gave it up for the trumpet. But there was a handful of times whenever I was the clarinet, the music teacher would actually have me play the bass clarinet parts.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's helpful too. Very helpful.
But because they weren't exactly represented. But yeah, I transitioned to trumpet.
Oh,
and I got a trumpet in 8th grade and transitioned to it and went full on in high school, purely for marching band, because we did not allow most woodwind instruments in marching band except for piccolos.
I don't
Why
know when
is
this is
that?
post.
That's interesting. Do you know
First,
why?
I think it was a combination of sound and convenience with the marching, because I don't exactly feel like... I think it was because of sound, because my music teacher wanted like sounds that were bigger and more grand, and I don't think clarinets could really replicate that.
Okay.
I'd like to
And plus,
take a moment.
marching with a clarinet would kind of be a little weird.
I think I don't know when this is posted, but I think we've neglected chat a little bit. Tengu Dai Cardinal 99294. I hope I got that right. I want to let you guys know your review of Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door are my favorites.
Thank you.
So
I would
Mine too.
also like to add on Star Fox 64 that I am a little bit surprised, but not shocked that the frame rate on original hardware isn't exactly good.
It slows down a lot.
Yeah.
It's actually why I think 3D might have a lower score potential, because I think a lot of tricks rely on the slowdown. I'm not sure, but 3D just doesn't drop frames like the original does.
Yeah, I can see that. I haven't really seen many 2-dropped frames on 3D, but I will say for an N64 game, especially 97, 64 is kind of looks pretty damn good.
It looks great. It has really good game feel, presentation, and atmosphere.
Yes.
Haran, do you remember that thing I showed you that you could do in 64?
Which thing?
Of getting infinite score in the fire level?
Yeah.
Infinite score in
I found
Venom.
out you can do it in Venom 2.
Nice.
Ben, you were talking about infinite score in Venom, right?
Well, before it was Solar, but he just mentioned Venom 2.
Oh. I saw it. Basically, you just kill all your teammates, and then...
Seriously?
You kill in Venom, in the final Venom fight with Starwolf, you kill all your teammates, and then you hug the ground and continuously charge shot the ground, and basically it'll keep giving you points for that. You can get 999 score for that.
Wait, why does it do that?
I don't know. I think because you're not directly hitting them, they're just taking the splash damage or something, and it's just counting as like a plus something.
Oh! The bonus hit for the charge shot, I see.
Yeah, you do the bonus hit on all 4 of them as they're chasing you, but since there's no ally, since you killed them, they're only chasing you, and you're hugging not only you hugging the floor, but they're hugging you, so they're taking the splash damage and getting the bonus hits.
A tip for Star Fox 64, and it might apply to Zero, I don't remember. The way 64 handles group shots, and Zero, I believe, handles it the same way, but the way 64 handles group shots is that you get a bonus point for enemies that die from the splash radius of the charge shot. So, say there's...
I don't know about Zero, but the task runs of 64 definitely abuse the hell out of that.
So, the way it works in 64, right? Like, if you have a group of 5 enemies, and you charge shot one of them, and you kill all 5 of them, you would get 4 bonus points on top of the 5 points for killing them. Because you killed 4 enemies with the blast radius.
Zero does that.
But, in 64, because of how it works, if you shoot a wall and kill all 5 of them, you will get 10 points instead of 9. Because the way it works is it gives you a bonus point for ones killed with the splash radius. And the one enemy you hit is no longer a direct hit, it's also splash.
Yep. Yeah, watch that.
Farming splashes by not using lock-on is a big part of getting good at 64.
That's exactly how they got 999 in Venom. But yes,
wow,
watch that task. Watch that. I believe I put a task run up of the whole game where they take the hard route. Yeah, they get like...
That's actually one of the ways Assault has less potential depth to its sections, particularly its armoring sections. Because Assault has, I believe, scripted groups, where you get group bonus for killing an entire group, not for making group shots. You can't use it creatively. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Alright, so... the latest task run of the entire game got 4,191 hits. For 64.
Alright.
And someone joked in the comments section that that run just pretty much put Corneria into bankruptcy and economic ruin.
That's a steep bill. Or except at that point he doesn't even say that. He just goes, "What?"
Yeah,
I always love that detail. I love that.
If you get a really good...
Anyway.
we were talking about this, but I love the fucking wolf interaction in this level.
Mhm.
Silhouette. Is that the General's flagship?
Why is his flagship so small?
It's a personal ship. It's not like a.
This is one of the saddest, darkest moments in the game for me.
Yeah.
You know what? This was another, like, oh shit moment when I first played this game.
This game has a lot of them, especially at the end.
I still need to play Assault, damn it.
That's the truth of it. Accept it, Fox.
Yeah, no, I literally just glanced over in my room and I saw my copy of Assault.
This is especially emotional if you played 64.
Yeah.
General Pepper's a character who's been there for the entire franchise. And he's always been such a fun, likable character.
I still think I would, as I said in the review, I still would have preferred it if they killed him off, but I still really love what they do here.
Yeah, no, I think it would be better if Pepper had died.
Yeah.
One of the problems is they don't kill off characters in Assault. And characters who might have died, Command basically was like, actually, they're alive. Which is like...
What about Pigma?
Pigma, I believe, is alive in Command or something?
Here's what I'm mad about. Command says that Pigma's alive, but especially Andrew Oikini. I'm sorry, there's no way Oikini survived.
Okay,
because
I don't think Oikini should be alive, but I do find Pigma worse.
No, I find Oikini worse.
I mean, Oikini, you could argue maybe he survived the ship getting shot down. Pigma got his entire body disfigured and transformed.
Oh wait, actually, you're right. You're right. Pigma is worse. What am I saying?
I don't know.
But still.
I think it is kind of funny having Andrew survive that, but
Pigma should be dead.
Yeah, Pigma should be dead.
As far as this game presents it, both of them are dead.
Yeah, no. And then a Command comes by and it's just... Command even drops hints that Andros might be alive or some shit.
As I said in my review, I'm okay with Peppy surviving. I was also okay with them killing him off at the end of this game.
Yeah, I'm okay with
it. Would have
them
been
keeping him
sad, but I'm okay with Peppy being alive because I think they handle it well. I think Pepper could have died.
Pepper should have died.
Yeah, that's what I think.
I'm
as
cool with
awesome
Wolf's
as this
crew
moment
living.
is.
I'm cool with Wolf's crew living. I'm cool with Peppy living.
Yeah.
Along with Rob64.
And Peppy's sacrifice is still awesome, even if you know that he's alive. It still works. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that one I don't think is hurt by it.
Yeah.
Wait, does the fan base genuinely dislike the fact that Peppy sacrificed himself?
Some people.
No, I think that's everyone's favorite moment of the game, right? That's like the fan favorite moment.
Maybe. There are members of the fan base who just don't like in general how Assault uses Peppy because they want him to be a core pilot like 64.
Whatever.
But I don't agree with that in general. I think the people who don't have that hang-up generally are fine with
Now,
this.
I think Peppy's cutscene at the end of Aberrant Homeworld is the best moment in the series. I'm honestly going to go that far. I think it's the single best moment in the franchise.
We're talking over this.
Oh, this is a great scene. Just act.
I mean, I've seen all the cutscenes before, so...
I know.
I know, but still.
It's the posterity of it. Where it's like,
What
this
a great
game's
Wolf
cutscenes
moment.
are so good. This is my favorite version of Wolf, easily.
This game is a masterpiece.
Like, Wolf is fun in other games, but his relationship with Fox is so good in this game.
Yeah, it's unparalleled.
And he's not even in that much of the game, but the parts he's here for are...
Yeah, but when he's there, he makes a big impact every time he shows up.
I want more of this, you know? I want more Fox and Wolf acting like this.
Honestly, can I write the next Star Fox game? I would actually love to write the next Star Fox game if I could.
Like imagine more of Wolf being a rival to Fox, having this like snooty better than you attitude and opposing him as an enemy, but also giving him like all this life advice and shit because of his connection to his father. But
that's
downplaying the shit out of it, like, oh, just don't get in my way, pup. Don't take this so seriously, you know?
Like, I don't mean this in a super fanfiction-y way, but like, genuinely, like, there's some stories that you just love, but there's some that I'd actually like to really get my hands on as a writer. And Star Fox is actually one of those things I would dream to be able to write the script of a game that had a story as prominent as Assault. I would love to follow up this game. I really would. I love these characters. I think there's still so much you can do with them. Ah, please, Nintendo, hire me.
All right, but I have a genuine question though. If I skip over a command, would I be losing anything?
Well,
Not
really.
Not really, because Command is the end of the timeline, and it's also
the end of the timeline, and it doesn't have a definitive ending.
That's the thing. It is designed around having like what 7 or 8, 12 endings. There's a lot of endings.
Not story-wise, just in general.
The gameplay's lame.
I don't think the gameplay's
And
great.
all of its ideas are borrowed, at least from Star Fox 2 in terms of its most unique aspects.
Have you played Star Fox 2?
Not yet.
I would suggest prioritizing Star Fox 2 over Command. Yeah.
No, Command. It's honestly Star Fox 2 uses Command's ideas mostly more interesting than Command.
It's not that Command doesn't do some things new, but it's not worth the rest. The best idea that Command has that the other games don't have is that you can pilot other characters, and each R-Wing.
Except, 2 has that as well.
Yeah, but they don't. They play the exact same. And
No, they don't. There's 3 different types of R-Wings.
Never mind. Don't play.
I mean, there's more variety in Command, but there are 3 different types of R-Wings in 2.
No, you're right. I forgot.
I was gonna say getting Command would probably be little trouble because I could just Yarhara it for my 3DS.
Well, it's also available on Wii U eShop as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I would go with 3DS. I'm just saying.
I'm not gonna do that.
I played it on Wii U.
It
was fine.
Yeah, no.
The game itself wasn't great though.
From what I can understand about Command, it shouldn't have any notable issue on Wii U. It's just.
Oh, it was fine.
It's
that was
built
not
for
my
the
problem
DS.
with Command. Oh, I'm sure it's more natural on DS. It was just easy for me to get it on Wii U.
I imagine it's not a big difference.
There's an S flag down there, Red. Just so you know.
Oh yeah, has Red gotten any of the S flags?
He's gotten a few. He's gotten a few.
I also feel like just Yarharing it for 3DS would be easier than Yarharing it for Wii U, anyways.
No, that's fine. I'm just mentioning.
Guys, it's Smash 4.
Also, who's this Yarhar, and where are they giving you such good deals?
It's the cousin of Vim.
The cousin of Vim?
Yes.
Crazy. I just thought he was going to be Vim.
Remember we met him at the dinner party in France?
I went to France?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
you were there.
this.
Ron was there. Zach, Red was there.
Me,
Yeah, you were.
IKG, Harain, Zach, Vim.
Alec
And Vim's
was
the
sitting
other-
next to
Alec-
Vim. Remember?
Alec was sharing a drink with Vim.
They were sharing a glass of Chardonnay. Or sorry, a bottle, not a glass. They're not that close.
Vim is very cultured.
He is.
Yeah.
I introduced him to Rose. Anyway. Warning.
Also, he's on Orbital Gate. Oh my god.
I didn't notice.
Vim is so cool.
I love how he lets us borrow all of his games. What a catalog he
A
has.
little bit more like Vim.
Okay.
He's got a great collection.
IKG, hear me out.
What?
Orbital Gate is Fachina for the R-Wing.
That's a stretch.
It kind of is.
That's I don't know, that's a stretch.
Fachina is basically an all-range level for the Landmaster.
Yeah, but there's more.
Oh no,
diversity
Orbital Gate's
in
better.
this.
Don't mistake that.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying Fachina has more diverse content than Orbital Gate.
Yeah,
So it's not really the same.
but I think it serves the same role.
Nah. I would argue Orbital Gate is unique in that it's the only fully all-range R-Wing level in the game, and it feels unique because of it.
Yep, and that's what's unique about Fachina.
So,
Alright.
That's what I'm saying.
Alright, whatever.
So, Harain, for the Star Fox Zero criticism iceberg, I was literally just thinking, why not just have the entire board be filled with controls and too much like 64, with the free space being it's not 64?
There are other complaints, though. You could
Not
definitely
many
fill it out.
common ones.
Not enough to fill up.
Gyro Wing could be one. People don't like that.
That's
thing,
true.
even though I do.
Gyro Wing could be another.
People don't like the unlockables. people don't like the amiibo support. There's many things you can pick from. Some people say the game's ugly. I don't think so.
Hold on.
But...
Generally speaking, I thought people were pretty cool with the amiibo support because of the fact that it was a shortcut to an unlockable that's fun to use, but can be gotten naturally through the game.
Well, that's what I thought. I heard.
Well, that's usually what I heard.
Oh, maybe it's kind of divisive.
Okay. As someone who's gone through multiple comment sections and stuff like that about Zero, it's usually just the controls that everybody seems to talk about. I have never heard any complaint for Zero, and I've only heard
the gyro
one
wing is
person.
A common one.
Area 3 could be its own box. A lot of people don't like that level.
I have heard. What's Area 3 again?
Area 3 is the level that starts in outer space. You fight Pigma, you go to the Halo-shaped colony.
The gyro wing.
Then that's true.
Oh.
Then the Gigarilla
is it the space colony?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It's the Halo ring.
Yeah.
Anyways, well, virtually everything I've seen is the controls. I've only seen like very few people ever bring up like
Aqua Rosa,
the game and level design.
If anything, Aqua Rosa is an enemy that would be.
Everyone hates Aqua Rosa.
Aqua Rosa is the one boss fight that I do frequently hear talk about when people actually talk about it.
Wait,
and that's partly because people.
Zach, I should just make this board. But
also,
fair
Red,
enough.
You just gave. Well, I just got a great idea for something we could do for the for one of the live streams. Well, not live streams. For one of the these Sunday streams.
Oh.
Halo 3 co-op.
I would do that actually.
I call Crystal.
I wouldn't want to do Halo 3 co-op until I've played the Halo games on personally.
Yeah. Anyways, as I was trying to say,
I do have it.
Okay. I was trying to say the only real other complaint I've seen from another person was the level design and the boss designs are just pretty meh.
Which I have no idea what the hell.
Zach, I've given you a ton of common complaints.
No, I'm just talking about
I think
what
there
I've
is
heard
one
in general.
common. I think there is one common complaint that's neither of you have mentioned. The game doesn't have a multiplayer battle mode.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
That's a big one.
Yeah, that is a big one.
Oh.
And I actually kind of share that complaint. I don't think it's a big deal, but
I don't know how they could have implemented it though.
I would have liked one.
Well, I want one, but I'm willing to concede that Nintendo made the dumb decision with the Wii U that only the gamepad has a gyroscope.
Yeah.
What about the Pro controller?
No,
it doesn't have one.
Doesn't have one.
It doesn't?
That's the Switch introduced that. Yeah.
Yep. It took until the Switch for the Pro controller to actually support motion.
Yeah.
Huh. So that begs the question, why does like Wind Waker HD only allow for the Pro controller to be used? Why no classic controller support?
I don't know. I mean, I guess actually no, there is a reason. It uses stick click as an input.
Oh yeah.
Good point.
You could say that they should have had a control option that would let it work, but I'm not that worried about it.
I really need to. I get up at 5:30, but I really should go to bed. But I want to watch this.
It's the ending of Assault, and IKG's like.
I mean, these are long levels. There's a lot of cutscenes, but we are pretty close.
He's beating the game.
What were the main complaints against Assault initially?
The biggest thing? It's honestly, it's got a parallel to Zero in that the biggest thing is on foot. Like, that is the big one. Aside from that, there are definitely a ton of smaller ones out there.
One of the biggest things holding, in my opinion, which is ironic, but in my opinion, one of the biggest things holding Star Fox Zero back for me, no on foot.
I am fine with it not having on foot, but
don't get me wrong. The game does nothing wrong by not having it. It just, therefore, it cannot be as great as Assault.
You find it disappointing.
It just can't be as good.
I will say this. I don't need on foot for a Star Fox game, but at the same time, I don't want that being abandoned either.
I'm gonna actually disagree. I'm gonna say, here on out, I'm not gonna accept a Star Fox game without some form that goes beyond just Arwen gameplay, because it's not sustainable.
Well,
64
I do
is great.
think they should have more.
64 is great, but you can't do that again. I'm not allowing it.
Well, every game since 64 has had more than Arwing gameplay, although 64 had the smallest
Exactly.
deviations. And
But
Zero
had the
does that
smallest
too.
deviations.
I do want deviations. I'm saying it doesn't have to be on foot.
I actually kind of,
Yes,
I actually do
I
like
agree.
the second walk.
But at the same time,
Zero.
do on foot because there's so much more you can do.
Oh, no, I
Sakurai
agree.
and his team already did it, and there's still more you can do after that. So come on.
I agree.
Again, just look at Ratchet and Clank. It's not hard. Look at Kid Icarus Uprising. It's all there.
I totally agree. They should bring it back, and there's a lot they can do with it.
Yeah.
I'm
not
saying
the
that my
biggest
enjoyment
fan.
is not hinged on having that necessarily.
Well, if they want to come up with something else, then it better be just as good.
I was gonna say I am not the biggest fan of the on foot levels in Kid Icarus Uprising. I just feel like they don't control particularly well.
That is such a good reveal, by the way. Love it.
The Aperoid homeworld. They
Size and mass are disproportionate. What could that mean?
Where are they? There's nobody on the surface.
Maybe we could use it to make our way to the planet interior.
Foreshadowing.
The aperoids come out, it looks like some sort of shield goes up.
Multiple shield generators detected,
Ba,
displaying
ba, ba. I like that overhead map of how the level looks.
What do you guys
Whenever you
think-
put,
What do you guys think of Aperoid Homeworld?
It's an amazing,
I love it.
level.
And people who struggle with it, honestly, that's the point.
Yeah.
Like, that's why it's so good.
Halo Reach does something very similar with its penultimate level, and it's very effective for the same reason. It's
Yeah.
just takes your teeth in a really compelling way. Like, this feels like a struggle, because it is.
Although I wonder how much of a struggle it is on Bronze, honestly.
Well, not nearly as much, but I'm sure.
Oh, well, okay. You don't want to walk up to those things.
No, Red.
I need to finish Halo Reach. I still haven't for some reason.
So, no, Red's just taking a strategic difficulty hindrance of a challenge run. Starting
One
with
hit
a KO.
Like, I finished Halo
Guys,
1,
this
2,
bassoon line.
3, 4,
Mm.
but not Reach.
And then this Opal part.
Oh my god, those enemies die so quick to the machine gun in this.
It's still going to be hard, though, Red, so be careful.
I can't believe they turned Star Fox into Call of Duty.
This is not like Call of Duty.
How would you know, Horan? Have you played Call of Duty?
A little bit. Not much, but a little bit.
Wait, is there straight up not a hatcher in this room on Bronze?
Yeah?
Oh. Wow.
Guess so.
Yeah, no, it's
Only 4 targets, so, yeah.
Yeah, no, there's...
Oh, I'm looking at the radar now. No, there is one. Okay.
Well, yeah, but it's like not...
It's up. Oh, yeah,
it's,
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not in that part of it.
Okay.
You have 2 options for traveling quickly around the map, in the form of the R-Wing and the Landmaster.
Yes.
The Landmaster
really-
is not useful in this map for actively pursuing targets. It's only useful for going between targets. And
Yeah.
even then, I
Yeah.
find it niche.
Again, to make the Halo comparison, it's in this level, you kind of use it like the Warthog, you know?
Hmm.
This is nothing.
Yeah.
I can take care of this all by myself.
The R-Wing, I find, generally is more useful because it's for transportation and how many pits are in this level. But the Landmaster can be better for keeping your score up if you use it right. But the R-Wing is faster.
I also actually use it for defense on gold. I'm not even gonna joke.
Well, yeah, no, the Landmaster's tanky, obviously.
Yeah. And just, it protects Fox, so...
Although, Star Fox Assault doesn't let you rely on that too much because you still take a good amount of damage in
Yeah.
the vehicle, you just won't
No,
die.
it's true. It's true. It's basically the equivalent of a shield. I feel bad to say it, but I basically use the Landmaster as a shield in gold. But that's just telling how hard this level is on gold, because
This
it will
level
still
is
die
so
in like 2 hits.
hard.
Like
The
you
last-
can, they literally blow up Star Fox's tank in 2 hits. Like it's not. I can't make this up.
Like Fachina was the first level to kick my shit in gold. but I started to acclimate and get used to how hard gold was, and then the last 2 levels happened.
God, Aperoid Homeworld is
Aperoid
hell.
Homeworld and Aperoid Tunnel.
Oh, the
are-
tunnel is well. Oh god, the tunnel's really hard too. It's so.
Those
that's the
2
hardest
levels.
That's the hardest flying mission in the series by far.
Yeah, it's
so
crazy.
hard. Like, if you don't lean, you'll die. Like, have you ever played a Star Fox level where, like, if you don't lean, you die? Like, it's like, seriously, like, even then, you'll lean and it's still not accurate enough. It's still not precise enough, I swear.
It's so funny. Actually, if you made a Star Fox Assault bingo, genuinely, gold difficulty would be on there as one of the biggest criticisms, and it's the biggest one possibly I had to disagree with for me.
I mean, and hell,
Debatably.
even in my original review, I subscribe to it, so...
Gold is so fun.
I at least understand where people are coming from with that.
No,
though.
I get it. People shouldn't treat it like a typical difficulty mode.
Nice job with the grenades, by the way. Good use.
I
Would
don't.
you say?
I genuinely
would you-
don't think people should try gold until they've gotten all the silver medals.
Would you say the on rails levels in Assault are a lot like the ones in Kid Icarus Uprising?
No idea.
Yeah, closer than 64 for sure. In terms of dynamic, yeah.
Well, okay, I'm sorry. The on foot, I meant to say.
Also yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Uprising's level design's more complex and less sandboxy, a little more linear, like definitely more linear, but there is a lot that they have in common. Yeah. Uprising's almost more of like a Metroid Prime level design kind of thing, and this is a little more sandboxy, but again, still a lot shared in their design, especially in terms of control and combat.
Listen up, everyone. We gotta breach this. We gotta.
Yes.
Also, just the atmosphere in the Aperoid Homeworld is nice.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I know it's such an overplayed descriptor, but it feels very alien.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that the Aperoids are very inspired by insect colonies, and the Aperoid homeworld is full of hex patterns.
Yes. Perfect.
Like, Star Fox Assault combined the parasitic mind controlling alien trope with the bug hive mind alien trope, and it is
nice, right?
Disturbing.
That was very effective.
Those 2 tropes work really well together, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Oh, good, you got 2 barriers now. Nice.
Nice. You know how to use barriers, right?
I forget.
It's the B button.
Yep.
That's still B on the dual stick control scheme, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I
Yep.
just remembered that.
There it is.
They also are time-based, though taking damage makes the timer run faster.
Right. Good, Red. Very nice.
Are you gonna go back to Saria to get the bronze medal later? I think it might be the only one you won't get.
Well, we'll see about the next 2 levels, though. They're very hard. This
Yeah.
one and the last one.
But bronze is very giving with the medal requirements, and Saria is so open-ended that Red just kind of skipped a bunch of targets. Well, not
True.
targets, but point opportunities.
Right, that's fair.
Silver is definitely when you need to start thinking about getting medals. Honestly, if you're playing bronze and you can't get the medals, then you're not ready for silver. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
In fact, that's
The same
actually-
applies from silver to gold.
that's a good way of thinking of the medals in this game. It's not being able to beat it with the medals. It's getting the medals.
It's a rite of passage.
If you can get the medals on a difficulty, you're definitely ready for the next one. But if you can't, then you're not.
Although nothing will make you ready for Aperoid Homeworld on Gold, but you know.
No. At least playing Gold up to that point will teach you good habits.
Still won't be enough, but it'll help.
Oh no, it'll still kick your shit in.
And then after that, then you have to tunnel.
And then your thumb begs for mercy.
If a Nintendo game's gonna make your thumb bleed, it's gonna be this one. Oh, seriously, it's one of the hardest things I've ever done. It's really hard.
I love.
I played this game a
thumbs.
lot.
Please, sir, have mercy, your thumb.
But honestly, at this
Star
point,
Fox
I'm kind of
Assault.
feeling. I've kind of gained that Hurrain masochism for Assault, where now I kind of can't picture Gold any other way. So I'm kind of won over by it in the long run.
Well, it's like
the Sonic Unleashed effect with the S ranks. It's like some of the DLC stages are masochistic in that game, but then it's like, well, now I can't really imagine it any other way. So
I want,
it's weird.
Because of the silver medals, I have no problem with the gold medals.
Mm-hmm.
And I never found the gold medals unfair. They're just hard. You know?
And you somehow do them with the default control scheme. I don't understand that at all. I really don't.
Honestly, I'm living proof that people who think the game is poorly designed, even around its default control scheme, need to just get good.
Skill issue.
If you're playing it with the twin stick, and are a normal person, as in not me, and you think that gold is too much for somebody to handle,
Brain, there is
you
still
wrong.
one challenge with Assault you've never done.
Oh?
Aperoid Homeworld Gold difficulty with the third control scheme.
Oh, gee, I just don't play with the third control scheme. Oh my god.
Well, that's the next challenge.
Okay, Dawn of a New
It's
Day,
terrible.
Star Fox Assault gold medals, third control scheme.
I'll donate right now. Name the charity. Let's do it.
Or we play on gold difficulty, and a donation goal
Mission
is that you
update.
have to get the gold medal for each threshold.
Ooh.
Every threshold is one more gold medal out of 10 you have to get.
That would be really good.
Fox, you gotta get busy.
Welcome back, Ben.
Thank you.
Oh wait, that's Friday.
Oh, hi.
His profile picture just changed.
Oh, hi, Mark.
What is this? Like, as soon as Friday spoke, the Ben's profile picture swapped for Friday's.
What do you mean? I've been Ben this whole time.
Damn.
Obviously,
We've
it's
just
a
been praising
Discord
Assault,
glitch.
the hell of that.
Definitely, please. But,
That is amazing.
Oh, hi, hi, Friday. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Yourself,
Great
Ben?
to hear.
Now I'm confused.
I'm doing fantastic.
I didn't know Ben was. Ben,
I've just
since
been
when
playing
have-
some Fallout 4. It's been, oh man, it's been a real hoot. Mind you, it's real scary if you don't have the audio on. Especially if there's like a super mutant exploder. Oh man, those guys are wicked.
I like... The break is so much more powerful in Assault than it is in 64.
Ben,
It is.
Since when
It is.
Ben, since when have you had an Australian accent?
What do you mean? This is how I've always spoken.
Huh. Are we sure about that?
Yeah, this is like the standard New Jersey Jewish person accent.
I will say,
It's
Red,
just-
be careful
how
because
we all
if the
sound.
R-Wing explodes, there's nothing below you.
Hmm.
You'll have to redo everything, so just be careful.
Falco can just die. Who needs Falco?
Oh,
Not Slippy.
Honestly, it's going to be between the two of you. It's
What,
going to
the-
have to be Falco.
The big flashing arrows on the screen?
Look, I wasn't looking at the
Do a U-turn.
screen.
I think you're going to need a U-turn or something.
The C stick is used for maneuvers.
There you go. Lose them.
Okay.
Good.
Can you guys, like, fly towards me?
It's not buffed to the same extent as Zero, but the boost is definitely stronger in this than 64 as well.
Yeah. It makes 64s feel very quaint. And then Zero is just like...
64's boost and break are limited, although there is something...
I think the game's
especially-
definitely designed around it, though. It works.
Well, especially with the break, there's something tense about it where you feel like you really can't lean on it to make up for your bad playing. You need to deal with how fast that game is.
Yes, and I do like that aspect of it for sure.
Zero
One
gives
more
you a
Hatcher.
lot more control than 64, but it throws more at
Well
you.
done, Red. That's not an easy level. Good job.
Well, I mean, it is bronze, but
Yeah, no, but still on
time.
bronze, there's some
Yeah.
challenge there.
Wow, you aren't playing it on gold or whatever?
I would literally steer Red away from gold so hard on his first playthrough. Holy shit.
Wow.
But Marine, what about the platinum
actually such
difficulty?
a casual G.
Imagine!
Imagine a platinum difficulty.
Okay, honestly, all they could really do to make that justified is say it's a one-shot kill.
Yeah. Kaizo, run. One
It
shot.
would, like,
One
that's
shot
the only
difficulties
way
are
it
some of
would
the
be
least enjoyable things in most games because most games
I know.
aren't built for that margin of error and because
I
they have
don't
bugs
think
and other
Assaults
issues.
really is either, but the
No,
thing is, gold
it's
is
not.
already so hard that just making even harder gold would not serve a purpose unless they went that far.
Yeah,
I guess you're right.
yeah. God, could you imagine a game with like blood with hit scan enemies that have a reaction time in the
Also, you know this is a
milliseconds
great
of
cutscene
one-shot
because
difficulty?
it's a CG cutscene. So you know something big's gonna happen.
Well,
Star
at
Fox
least we know-
Assault has such tasteful use of CG.
God,
know,
now we know-
spoiler alert.
At least now we know where the budget went.
Well, the budget
Uh,
shows
yeah,
everywhere.
Honestly, like the CG's great, but it's probably the soundtrack.
The soundtrack is where it shows the most.
yeah.
It's my favorite moment in the series.
I cannot believe that they made this soundtrack.
Okay, that explosion was really
They
funny
killed
because it
off
looked like it was just
Bucky.
layered on top. It reminds me of the Nostalgia Critic explosion.
We're going out. That's my favorite line in the series. Too bad. We're going out in style. Priceless. Perfect.
Fox doing his fucking acting here. The Oscar nomination goes to Fox McCloud.
Seriously.
The character,
Everyone in this
not the
scene is
actor.
great.
No, I mean the character.
Well, the good news is we stopped the upwards. The bad news
Spoiler
is, we
alert!
don't have to
Friday. Fox is aware of what Peppy is doing and is playing it up.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? I already knew this.
When you get to the end of the game, Peppy's alive, and Fox knew that. He didn't tell his teammates as a way of making motivation for the ending.
Right.
That's fucked up.
Simply. And to be fair, there is a chance Peppy wouldn't have survived from this. So there is some precedent to him treating it this way, but
Here we go.
still, Fox knew that this wasn't just like a random act Peppy decided to do selflessly. This is something he knew was going to happen. And he knew
All right.
like the escape plan and all that.
This is the end. Good luck.
Fortunately, you take a lot less damage in bronze.
We've got uninvited guests following us. What? Wolf.
Dun, 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 dun.
God,
I'm not
that's me or lizard.
What was that? Don't worry, Crystal. I'll protect you from here on in.
Panther?
So, 7 ships in all. Well, I guess that's better than 4.
I guess you survived, huh? Just
Wow, Slippy, you can count? Yeah, that's really degrading, Fox. Why are you talking to me like that?
This piece of music is bonkers hard to play.
Degrading.
Oh,
I'd say.
I can imagine just listening to it.
This is like high end stuff. I mean, they had Tokyo New City, so they could do it, but damn.
Okay, so
This
you
is
have
a
high
hard
schoolers
piece.
play it.
Huh?
So you have high schoolers play it.
No.
It would be a great
I would
learning
literally quit
experience.
my job.
What? Oh, come on, I could be a
Who would
phenomenal
quit first?
learning
You from your job or the high school students from band?
Both.
Actually,
Mutually
I
assured
think
destruction.
It would end. Yeah, it would end the music program if we try to play Aperoid Tunnel. The program would combust. The budget would explode.
You're right. You're right, IKG. I'm sorry. Middle school band.
I'd like to see you try.
Wait,
Middle
IKG,
school band couldn't play Corneria at half tempo. Okay, stop.
IKG, I would like to say though, doing this in high school while being Fletcher, I think would probably motivate them enough to play this.
I'm not gonna be Terrence Fletcher.
No, you don't understand. Abuse works.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a difference between working and being acceptable or ethical.
That's what that whole film was about.
It's worked on my other girlfriends.
I'd like to point that Red would have died by now on Silver.
Oh, definitely. Careful, Red.
I don't know how much
Red,
they increased.
make liberal use of the barrel rolls.
Yeah, come on, Red. You got to take out the Death Star core.
You know, record. Last time I checked, there was a lot of correlation between horrible and abusive practices that people justify by saying, but they get results, not actually getting results.
I think that to a limited extent, this would be the case. You would either have the people who don't want to participate dropping out, or people who are willing to stay in getting pushed to an absolute limit where they peak. Not for their sake, because they would crash and burn after, but for the sake of your own, at the moment, results, yeah, they'd do great. Because there's definitely a difference between when you're aiming for improving an individual or getting the best results in an instant.
See, Harine gets it.
I said, I don't think that bears out as a rule, if that makes sense.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying in this circumstance, I think that would be how that would pan out.
No.
Also, you know how you keep talking about how this game has so many creepy, unsettling moments? There's another one coming up.
What, just the entire ending?
Well, yeah, but specifically the pre-boss fight conversation, I think.
Does someone say they're French?
No, but we were talking about our trip to France where we met Vim.
The
Vim's
owner
one
of the lair
the
themselves.
coolest motherfuckers, ever.
Agreed.
One of the biggest skills to learn in every Star Fox game, starting with 64, is when to charge and when to not charge.
Yeah.
Because if you're playing a level the first time, it's hard to know when charging will help you and when it will make it so you miss shots. But once you've learned a level, it's like, okay, here I charge, here I don't, here I want to do this. Oh. The charge shot was a great addition to the series. Another thing 64 gets credit for that Star Fox 2 was gonna do.
Hard shot, nice.
What do you mean gets credit for that a game was going to do? Yeah, no, we had the idea.
Well, no. It's not that they had the idea, it's that Star Fox 2 was a finished video game. They just didn't release it.
Yeah.
What was that?
Yeah.
Because they wanted... Nintendo was worried that by releasing that game in 1995, the year they originally wanted to release the Nintendo 64, they wanted to have a bigger gap between Super Nintendo games in 3D and N64, and make a harsh divide for marketing purposes, not be like, oh, well, the Super Nintendo still basically is doing 3D, look at that.
That feels like a really weird thing.
Yeah, and then they ended up delaying the 64 a year, so...
That was the strangest marketing decision I think I've ever heard of.
That they also had
there's
every
weirder ones
opportunity
than
to
that in the
release.
industry.
Regardless of how
What
questionable it is, Star Fox 2 was intentionally not released after being finished for that reason.
And then it was released with the SNES Mini.
Yeah, in 2017.
And it was also released for a Nintendo Switch Online.
Well, yeah, that was 2019, I believe. when they
And
added
on Vim's library, I mean...
his personal
I
collection.
meant the Library of Congress. That's
Our buddy lent us his copy.
So far ahead.
Our buddy lent us his copy of Star Fox 2.
Damn.
Yeah, I know a guy. I know a
have-
guy at the government library.
He's
of
like,
Congress.
I have Star Fox 2 on SNES. You can have it.
Wait, I didn't know Star Fox 2 was the only game that was culturally relevant to be included in the Library of Congress.
Star Fox 2 is one of the only games I can think of that Nintendo has basically just finished and sat on like that.
This scene.
Pigma balls?
I would gladly do that Friday.
But why though?
Not sacrifice.
Because Zach's honest about being X-Men.
Yes.
Unlike
Unless-
some.
Yeah,
It's so funny that the icon is just Star Fox with glasses.
Yeah.
Oh, I know it's not just that, but that
I
is
just really know
fucking
how to ruin a
hilarious.
scene. Damn.
I'm sorry, the icons are too funny. They're just static, but their mouths flap. It's so funny.
It's
They're
part of the
inspired by
style.
puppets, yeah.
It's literally puppet style. That's
Yeah,
the thing.
it's funny.
Okay. You know what? Go back to playing Xenoblade 2.
Don't hesitate. When the time comes, just act.
There's something about him thinking back on Wolf's words specifically as motivation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like not Peppy, not his dad, Wolf. And I think part of that's
And
because
do you know why?
the Aperoid Queen was weaponizing those two people.
Yes, but there's also another reason. You know what it is?
I'm curious which one you're thinking of then.
I'm thinking of the... Well, my biggest takeaway ever since my first playthrough, and I talked about it in the review, is Wolf, ironically, because of their past, is the only person outside of the Star Fox core team that has been consistently trustworthy to Fox. Despite the fact that they fought in the third level, and despite their past, Wolf has helped him time and time again and has been authentic.
Well,
And
that's the thing,
so-
Wolf doesn't lie to Fox.
Mm-mm. And when all the psychological manipulations at play, he can count on Wolf to be honest. I think that's one of the reasons that like breaks through to him.
I do think that's one of the most compelling parts of their relationship is the fact that Wolf is just honest to Fox, whether it's against him or with him.
Right.
And Wolf is usually not with him. It's part of what's compelling about Assault is that it pushes him in a situation where he needs to be.
Right.
It's a classic trope, but it is a great interpretation of the allies to enemies to allies trope.
Come on, Beltino.
Something's wrong, Fox.
All for us. All things in the universe will be ours.
What?
All for us. Everything in this universe exists for us.
I still stand by my biggest problem with Star Fox Assault is that there's not enough Star Fox Assault.
I know. Me too.
Honestly, watching this is just making me
Come on,
want to play
Luigi.
more Xenoblade X.
I can see some similarities in the art style, actually.
Xenoblade X does actually remind me a bit of Star Fox Assault in places. Yeah.
A lot of it,
them-
I think, is
a
probably
lot of
just
their
they have
machine
similar
design-
inspirations and stuff.
A lot of their machine design
Probably.
has a similar aesthetic, actually.
Well, yeah, because they both
yeah.
take heavily from like mecha stuff from the 90s.
Right. Exactly. Final boss.
Look out, everyone! That thing looks really steamy.
Like I was chatting with one of my friends the other day, and they pointed out that if you look at like all of the skull designs in X, they're just Gundam.
Yeah. I think the game's very honest about that.
Oh no, there's nothing wrong with just being Gundam, but they're still just Gundam.
Yeah.
Obviously, Star Fox is quite a bit different. They don't just have Gundam, but
There's a very sharp and angular, clean look to the spaceships in Assault.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, I love this piece.
Me too. Oh.
Well, I mean, I love the whole soundtrack, but
Yeah.
No.
It's Falco with his thinnest sliver of health still living.
Can you one-cycle this?
You know, he dropped me
on
some health.
bronze,
Maybe he
maybe.
used that himself.
On the lowest difficulty, you can one-cycle it, yes. Not on others.
I'm surprised Zero didn't have difficulty modes.
Just peeked in chat.
It kinda does.
Luigi 9000 says hi.
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 Yeah, I think I
Hi-ho.
mentioned it. But...
Hello, Mario.
Hello, Mario.
Mario.
Well, that was from the. Oh, this is my brother Luigi. They give you a whole heap
Yeah, the
of
sex ed.
spaghetti pile of information.
Wait, what does that have to do with anything, Friday? I mean, Hurricane.
Have you not seen the original?
Original what?
What that meme is
Hello,
from?
Mario.
No, I don't know.
Well,
what
then
that
that's
meme
why
is.
you don't. That's why
Only
you're not
real
aware.
ones now.
It was a bootleg sex ed video featuring various 80s Nintendo cartoon characters.
Oh, that is wonderful.
Mostly Mario, Luigi, and Captain N.
Not Captain Toad. L.
Captain Toad wasn't a 90s Nintendo TV character.
Time
Or
travel,
80s, 90s.
bitch.
I would love to get my
Nice,
sex
Red.
ed from. I would love to get my sex ed from Pith.
Alright, we're at the ending cutscenes.
Nice job, Red. Very solid first playthrough. Very nice.
Only one dead.
Yeah.
9 bronze medals.
Wait, this was your first playthrough, Red?
Yeah.
Nice.
I need to get around
How
to
long
playing
is the
Soul
game?
at some point.
It's
Not
like
very
3
long.
hours.
We're currently at 2 hours 32 minutes.
Yeah, and
Oh.
bronze is definitely the shortest route.
Silver will
because-
probably take another half an hour. Gold, maybe another hour. I'd say.
I'm
Are
just
there actually
thinking-
different levels and stuff, or is it just?
Well, they give you
No.
more to do.
They just
Okay.
stack content for each level. Yeah.
I'm just
Same-
thinking
same
of
levels.
Angry Joe. Angry Joe's like constant raving over a game being under 4 hours.
2 hours and 30 minutes.
You know, Sonic Forces is also very short. It's just not fun to replay.
Also, health bars get bigger in gold as well.
Yeah, Sonic Forces has virtually non-existent replay value, so it doesn't even deserve to be that short.
Nor is it fun the first time.
Oh, Sonic Forces. I was like, isn't Frontiers like big? And the answer's like, yeah, but that's a different game. That would explain it.
Forces
then.
now.
What? I don't like Forces. I just don't hate it.
Ah.
I don't like it though. No.
I don't hate it, but I
I
think
think he
that-
ironically has approached my opinion on Forces more over time.
Yeah, it's true.
which is
That it's
not
not great, but kind of just okay.
Still a
think
very
that's
frustrating
its-
game though.
Oh
That's
yeah,
just its biggest sin.
aggressively
That's all-
mediocre.
Yeah, it's aggressively mediocre. That's its biggest
Also,
sin
a
by
lot of people
mile.
forget, but there's all this really good flavor text here in the credits, which is cool.
Oh
They
yeah,
tell you-
they talk about what happened to every planet. And,
They
like,
talk about what happened to every planet, and they also rank like the
How
damage
damaged they
level that the area received, which I think is such a neat touch.
yeah.
I do also just want
It's
to.
a where are they now section.
Kind of,
I do. I want to point out when it comes to Forces, what makes it even more disappointing is Sonic Mania is one of the best Sonic games ever made, and it came out the same year, made by a bunch of indie devs. Like, come on.
It is No, and that makes sense based on what you saw. It is imperative that Succession is carefully. I couldn't read it. I love it. Like in particular, the warning system is in dire need of being reevaluated. Because remember how that went off poorly during the level? This game's so well thought out. Just I love it.
Describing a group as expunged feels interesting.
It is an interesting word choice.
There
No
feels like
Friday,
There
that's
feels like there's
not
some subtext
genocide.
there. There feels like there's some subtext, just the phrase expunged.
No, Friday, it's not genocide.
I mean, didn't
Not
we really
yet.
just genocide the Aproids though?
Oh no, the Aproids were genocide.
But they deserved it.
I like how they're really honest about Saria's state.
The Aproids are one of the best arguments you could make about any kind
A
of
plus
genocide.
damage level. I mean, it shows. That city got wrecked.
Wait, what did you say, Hurricane?
if you're going to bring up any example in fiction of an argument for genocide, the Aperoids are one of the best arguments you could make.
Yeah.
That's
I don't really know anything
concerning.
about them, so I don't.
The Aperoids literally are the definition of he's too dangerous to be left alive.
Oh.
Too dangerous to be left alive.
No.
So,
God,
so Friday,
I really
so
don't wanna-
Arain, you admit that genocide is okay?
That's not what I said.
No, but it's what we're gonna say that you're.
Don't kill me.
Yeah.
This is that fucking meme on Twitter, which is just like, man, I like pancakes. Wow, so you fucking hate waffles?
Yeah, that's a Twitter. That's a Twitter conversation. Certainly.
That was honestly always one of
But
the
guys-
most accurate representations.
But
of
guys,
Aperoids.
there's more.
Wait.
Wait.
Yes.
There's more.
We did it, Fox.
I can't believe it. I'm still breathing.
But so many casualties. Peppy, Wolf's team. So many noble sacrifices.
Why do they care about Wolf's team?
They went to
Because
go
they're
and
your
help
allies.
save the world.
Oh, okay.
And they were never more than rivals. Like, they were criminals, but
They're
they weren't
straight up
like...
your allies in this game.
They were never evil. They were just criminals.
Okay.
That was hairy.
I like the bandages detail. It's good.
Really gonna retire after this.
It's like Wolf in Star Fox 60.
I'm really gonna retire after this.
I love how he's like, that was Harry.
Wait, here's the line. Rain. What's up?
Tell me it ain't so, buddy. You knew about this?
So that's why you were so calm, you sneaky dog.
Pepper is all right as well.
Yeah, it's possible. And Wolf's team.
Wolf's team is just speculation. But
Turns
Listen
out
how
he actually
much.
did die.
But listen to how mature the delivery of Fox is in this game. It's so good.
Is Assault rated T or E10?
No, T.
T.
I'm looking at
Nice.
my copy right now.
It deserves the T.
It's a hard T.
Nice, good.
And some of the
so
only
it's
things
not-
it's missing are notable amounts of blood outside of vague interpretive examples and
Oh, most T games wouldn't
language.
get away with blood anyways.
You did
Oh,
it.
a lot of
Don't
T games
forget
have blood.
suggestive themes.
You did it, Red.
Well, I mean,
Um,
Crystal's here.
All right. I'll,
Yeah,
No,
women
no,
are
you mean
suggestive.
you mean
right
Panther.
now. It's
Panther is
T?
the suggested one.
I'm looking at my copy right now. It's T
Yeah.
for fantasy violence. That's it.
That makes sense. The violence is really intense in Assault.
So it's like an actually deserving T, not like a Super Smash Brothers melee T.
No, yeah, I mean, there's cursing, there's blood, there's
There's not
genocide,
really
there's
any language I can
There's
think of.
genocide.
there's cursing. Yeah, there is.
There aren't really a ton of T
In
games. It's
Assault?
kind of a neglected
Where?
rating.
I can't think of a single instance of swearing.
Pretty sure they swear.
I can. The closest to moments where it's like, "Dang!"
Yeah, I've noticed
But,
Fox
like,
say
that's a
dang
swear
a few
word.
times.
Oh, okay. Do you know what weirded me out?
Maybe I misremember. I could have sworn that they said hell and damn.
it-
I don't know.
I think if those words were
They
in
say
the
dang.
game, if it was, it probably would
Oh.
have been
They say
in the
dang.
content.
They
Okay.
say "dang" a few times, I think.
Oh. Well, I bet the Japanese version's probably like a sailor mouth, but
Well, it's also worth Japanese.
Don't
Like a
I would
lot of
highly
cultures,
doubt that.
the Japanese don't view foreign slangs, like especially English slangs or not slang, swears, as being as bad.
yeah.
It's kind of like how Americans will casually say something like "bloody,"
Mhm.
whereas in the UK it's like, "Oh my god."
I don't think anyone really cares in the UK because everyone's just fucking swearing constantly.
Honestly,
Well,
the
yeah.
Americans are the ones who don't swear as much as the UK.
No, I understand that, but it's not the UK views that on the same level they would other swears.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It's
Yes,
on par, but
that's
par
true.
is lower.
Yes.
No, I understand.
Well said. Well said. Well,
If
anyway,
you're in a-
okay,
if you're in a social
apologize.
situation
I
like that.
misremembered. I could
Yeah,
have
no, that's
sworn
fine.
they swore, but I
don't think so.
haha. But I guess it was the dang. I don't know. I guess I always just
No.
yeah. I must be having an Admiral Dane moment.
A what?
Actually, one funny thing I noticed, which is a bit of a tangent, is in the new Puss in Boots movie, they say bugger at one point, and it has a PG rating.
Okay, and
which is just a weird thing that wouldn't get even a PG-13 because that's swearing generally.
Yeah, it's in other nations that is a pretty damn heavy swear.
But it was like an offhanded comment, and I guess like the people watching it, the language must have just missed that or something.
I would
or
like
they were
to
just
say,
American.
Yeah, it's all A, it's American, and B, you can get away with swearing in a PG movie.
Even still, it's just a weird call.
Pete, there's always been swearing,
again,
if not
in
heavy
other
swearing
nations,
in PG movies.
in a lot of other English-speaking nations, bugger is considered a very
It'd probably be on par
heavy
with fuck,
swear.
if not worse.
Yeah, no, I probably would say worse.
Yeah,
it's like not. It's very indecent. Let's say that.
Mm-hmm. Quite vulgar.
It's just Americans don't say it that much, so it sounds like a funny European thing.
Well, the funny thing, it's a British character that says it. It's a character voiced by a British person.
Oh, I know, but again, American audience, technically, I guess.
So maybe they just like came off as like, it's a Britishism. That's just how they speak. It's fine.
Well, yeah, it is worth noting that there are different. Each country and region have different ratings for it.
Oh yeah, no, I know. It's weird. Actually, I wonder what the UK's rating for it is.
It'd be really funny if
Probably
the UK
15.
didn't care. Well, unless the UK version censored it.
They probably did.
Well, anyways.
It was given a U.
Sorry, Red, but
sorry, Red. That's my fault. I took it.
Yeah, I guess I'll wrap it up then.
So, what'd you think of the game?
It was good, but I definitely think I need to be playing the higher difficulties because that was.
I did say you were going to have a pretty easy tie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe so. Yeah. Try silver sometime. Maybe.
Yeah.
Whenever you feel.
Is silver recommended for a first playthrough?
Maybe.
I would say so.
It's not bad to do it on a first.
I would say
playthrough,
if you've played a Star Fox game before, I think you should try silver first.
It's the kind of thing where the game also doesn't give you credit for lower medals, so it's pretty clear that it wants you to start with bronze. It's why I refer to bronze as the normal mode.
Yeah.
But
normal build.
Silver
Bronze?
is definitely the more healthy, balanced difficulty for like a challenge.
I guess it is kind of hard to say because you can't be. I think both bronze and silver make sense as starting places.
Silver feels like what the game's balanced around.
The only
but
one that
bronze
makes
feels...
sense not to start with is gold for sure, and then everything else is just like.
I don't even know if you can. I think you might need to unlock gold.
You do have to unlock gold. It's not available.
Although I would argue it should be stricter, and you might even be a good idea to make it so you can't get gold unless you get all of the silver medals first. Like, some people are like, but what if I just want to play the harder difficulty? No, you're not ready.
The one thing I'd say is that like if you are replaying on a system that you don't have a save for, it could be annoying.
I know.
Yeah, that's always like the.
But with the nature of gold difficulty, I kind of feel like they shouldn't be risking some fucking chest hair gamer going like, yeah, man, I'm gonna go play it on the hard mode because I did a good video game. Oh god, this game sucks. Who likes this?
So you mean treat gold more like the extreme / one shot difficulty?
Yes.
No,
it
you
is
straight up
absolutely
just should. Straight
like
up.
that.
Yes, that's.
I refer to bronze as normal and silver as hard. Not that, like, no, I understand referring to bronze as normal is a bit of a stretch, but it is definitely what the game is intending as a first-time vanilla playthrough of the game, given the way it frames it.
And gold isn't just hard; it's very
like
clearly a step above that.
And getting the silver medals is more than just a normal mode. Beating the game on silver is not that bad.
But actually getting
those
all the medals is
medals
hard.
That's tough.
And that's probably what you should do next when you find yourself returning to the game.
Like,
right?
the medals are what this game is built around. It's a Star Fox game, you know?
And I would try silver. Yeah.
Like, if people didn't get the gold medals, I'm not gonna blame them. They're fucking hard. But
I still haven't gotten all of them. So
it's the last 2 levels, or last level or something?
Last 2.
Yeah,
I got Cornerius by the skin of Cornerius and Orbital Gate by the skin of my teeth, and then I was like, I'm not.
So fun.
And then I was like, I'm not even trying Aberrant. I did try, but it was terrible.
Oh my god, it's so much.
I kept seeing Fox like face planted, like dead on the floor, and then I heard the game over jingle, which is a really underrated jingle, but I heard it many times.
You know that my point being, Friday. Yes, gold is beyond just being a hard mode. It's designed for people who
It's
have
like the
master
equivalent of like legendary mode in Halo.
It is the master mode. You play this because you know how to play the game down to enemy placements.
Mm-hmm. And advanced techniques with the guns.
Like, what I've often said, if you're going for the gold medals, you need to basically plan where every bullet in each of your guns is going to be spent.
And for R-Wing combat, you really know how to lean properly.
You have to be really fucking good at those levels.
And very precise with your barrel rolls. Very precise. So. Yep. But it's fun.
Oh, I love it.
I've warmed up to it a lot over the years. I just found it extremely
Yeah,
intimidating
I
as a
think that's the
teenager.
biggest problem, is that people treat it like it's
a
hard mode and not.
Well, anyways, I have to go to bed, but congrats, Red.
And this stream is being dragged. Sorry, Red.
Yeah. But yeah, I did feel that bronze at the very least was pretty underwhelming. Like, I could see a lot of potential with this, which, you know, probably will be reached with silver and gold. Just, you know, especially with you said how they add more objectives. One thing that's like kind of remind me of is the old Battlefront or Star Wars Battlefront games, because with those, you know, they're primarily on foot, but like there are vehicles you can get into at any time. And like,
see you guys.
An element of those is like the main objective in like those is to capture all the command posts. The command posts are the spawn points. So if you get all of the enemy's command posts, they're just done. But like, so there's a bit of a prioritization of like what to go after, or like when they're taking one of your command posts to go and like try and you know, stop them from doing that. And some of the missions in here were a bit like reminiscent and trying to do something similar, like the that space station where like I had to go outside to shoot down some of the ships before too many of them, you know, came in.
Yeah.
But you know, I only had to do that once. I imagine it's a lot more intense on the higher difficulties.
Yeah. In fact, I would say the pressure system for Assault, as we mentioned on stream, talking the entire time you're playing the game, I know, but the pressure system for the game is its heat meter, because especially on silver and gold, the heat meter pushes you to keep being active in 7 of the 10 levels that it's in. Because, like, if you want to get those scores, you have to keep the combos going. And if you want the combos to be going, you have to think about, yeah, the target's over there and I'm here, but how am I going to get there? What enemies am I going to kill on my way there? And for a lot of the levels, it's which enemies do I want to take out where, right? Like, if you go back through a path you've already cleared, that means there's no enemies for you to kill to keep your combo meter up, right? But there are also events in the levels that can respawn enemies in new areas because, like, something changed or this or that. And, like, it's keeping track of that and understanding what route you're taking and why is a lot of the pressure. And you have to do it fast because the combo meter depletes fast.
Right, and that's when you start to appreciate the Aberrant Hatchers.
Their placements is just where you need to, it's not about killing them, it's about what you do between them, right?
Exactly, and you actually start to appreciate the fact that they're generating more enemies because it can keep the chain going on your way. So what I like to do to maintain my combo is I make sure the Hatcher spawns stuff right before I'm about to kill it.
Yeah,
So it
but
keeps the
they
train
slow
going.
down on their spawning over time, so you can't just like grind.
No, you can't. But
if you
think about that.
having them create like a group is enough to get your combo meter a good boost for going to the next one.
And like in Corneria, think about where are the radar jammers? Where am I standing? And which ones am I going to take out? Which ones am I going to leave?
One of the crazy things about Corneria that makes it hard on gold especially is that the sniper rifle is the best weapon for dealing with high health pool targets because it will single shot kill them when no other weapon on gold can do that. None of them.
Right.
But the problem is you need to use the sniper to take out the targets on that level, unlike the other ones.
Right.
Like the other levels usually on gold, you don't use the sniper to kill hatchers because like you don't need to. They're in crowds of other enemies and they're not that tanky. You want to save that sniper for priority targets that are a bitch to deal with, you know? But because you need the sniper on Corneria to take out the targets, there's no other option. Now it's a big strain on your best tool for taking out big targets.
Yeah.
You know? So, like,
So what do you do?
really need to think about your sniper on Corneria.
And as we've talked about, grenades are very helpful on Aproid Homeworld. Yeah.
It's the only level I found them useful in.
But anyways, I think I can understand, at least at the time, someone getting this game new being not really
disappointed.
Yeah, if they like just
I
played,
see that.
if they they really like 64, and then they go to this and
they do one
playthrough on bronze, and I could definitely understand being really.
I can even see them if they did one playthrough on silver and like didn't go for the medals. A 64 fan getting disappointed because like if you don't try to engage with assault, it's not going to be obvious to you coming from 64 that it's the depth that this goes to and what they did. But the one the one thing about that though is that I feel like it's a little weird to say that if you're a Star Fox fan from 64, like a big Star Fox fan, why didn't you play more than one playthrough to go for the medals?
I mean, isn't that how people appreciated
That's
64
the whole
anyway?
thing with 64.
Well, I can imagine like kids back then, like not probably playing 64 a lot for the different routes, but not necessarily for the medals.
I understand that.
Maybe.
I was a lot like that as a kid, but for me, the big thing that kept me hooked on Assault was its multiplayer.
That's the thing this game is actually most fondly remembered for.
Its
not actually the
multiplayer is
campaign.
great.
Yeah.
And it's honestly, the multiplayer is part of what saves its staying power.
Yes.
Because it has like a third of the levels compared to 64. No more than half. Like, that's its biggest weakness, if you ask me, as a Star Fox game, is it only has 10 levels. They're 10 really good levels. But that's it. And 3 of them are on rails. So as a Star Fox fan, it's like not a lot there. So the multiplayer is the part of the game that is brimming with content and a lot of replay value.
Yeah.
So for me as a kid, yeah, the multiplayer is what kept me around. But as I got older and got a lot more into Star Fox Score Attack, that's when I started to really appreciate the campaign. And I did like it as a kid for the story reasons. It's just, gameplay-wise, it definitely took more effort to appreciate than just a first playthrough, which is why I can at least understand that aspect of a Star Fox fan. It's just, again, a little hard to imagine a diehard Star Fox fan not trying to give, if they're giving the game an honest shot, not going for medals. That's my only
and therefore
confusion.
They'd not give it another shot. But
that's my one confusion with people's reception towards assaults. Like, if they didn't go for the medals, I get it. But like, you're a Star Fox fan, right? I don't know.
Masterpiece.
But
There were the people who went for the gold, but and just sucked at it. To be fair, but they're bad.
But yeah, I do see that the game didn't necessarily present its give the best first impression for people at the time, but like currently, I mean, if you're looking into Assault, you probably know about more of that stuff, so it's not really much of an excuse now to ignore that stuff.
Yeah, no, I genuinely agree with that conclusion that what you've drawn from that. I've made similar statements before.
Yeah. It also doesn't help that the game before this was Adventure, and people, especially wanting the R-Wing gameplay.
It's why the biggest thing I think Assault should have had is just a mission mode with more bite-sized, less ambitious levels to give you more arcadey gameplay. You know? To fill up its lacking number of levels in its main campaign. With levels that take a lot less effort to make than
those. I think that would have gone a long way. Yeah. Because I do have to go to bed, so I wish you guys good night.
Ta-ta.
Good night.
Yeah,
Bye.
probably should wrap this stream up. So, someone just posted in chat. Yeah.
Hello to you too, Zane.
Yeah. The goal is to get the next video done this month. We'll see if that actually happens. Yeah. Sorry if you just joined because the stream's about to end. So.
Every Sunday, Zane. So if you're interested, next week.
Yeah, next week. Undecided what next one's gonna be, but probably gonna continue with the backlog stuff.
Yeah.
Unless then suddenly we could get 4 people for Deep Rock, but we've already done one Deep Rock stream, so it's not.
I figure that what you said at the start of the stream still holds true, that playing Assault's going to be not a stream thing moving forward.
Yeah, I'll play more of it on my own time.
Yeah. I don't know about where you are, Zane, but it is like almost midnight over here.
Sorry. Usually start the stream around 8-ish Eastern time, so I don't know when that would be.
Trust me, we're not rushing the video. It's just taking its time.
All right.